there? Is there a dog? Is he alone? Is he at the airport? Is he on a fucking bus? Is he on the plane? Is there a clicking noise? There's probably a clicking noise. Is this a clip show? I don't know if it's a clip show. It's a fucking show. Just listen, goddammit!
Hey, what's happening? Mike Schmidt, 40-Year-Old Boy Podcast. I don't know why you're laughing. But before we, all right, first of all, here's this. This just happened, this exchange. Hey, can I talk about that on the air, Lily? No, I can't. It's a good thing Lily doesn't have a podcast, because literally it would just be her saying hello and then fucking dead air until she said goodbye. Because her life is this mystery. She's an international woman of mystery. She's completely wrapped in like a cloak of secrecy, a veil of silence, or a cloak of silence and a veil of secrecy. Perhaps. I don't know how she handles her business. That would be on her show. You'll have to ask her.
I only have a veil. I don't have a cloak at all.
I see. You should get a cloak. You'd look good in a cloak.
Well, no, there are some things that are public and there are some things that are private, and there are some things where your friends do something really stupid, but you can't mock them publicly. You just can't.
I can't. You know what? That's the thing is I don't get to mock anybody I want to mock publicly. Literally, there's so many people that are eminently mockable, and I want to just go after them, and yet I can't, because inevitably somebody will write me and go, "You're wrong," and then they'll tell that person, because social media now has destroyed the being able to talk behind people's backs. Oh man, I would love to carve somebody up right now and fucking destroy them. Unfortunately, this is going out to fucking 10,000 people a fucking week or whoever the fuck. And there's Twitter and then there's Facebook, because you'd love to come in and just snark the shit out of someone, but you can't, because unfortunately it's going to get back to them somehow.
Well, yeah, I mean, everything has consequences, and every choice has consequences, and every opinion has consequences, and yeah.
Wasn't it great when that wasn't the case? Wasn't it great when you could just talk about whatever the fuck you wanted, nobody gave a fuck?
You could go around and you could kill people that you didn't think were as good as you.
Yes.
Or you could punch a woman and beat the shit out of her like they did in Hateful Eight.
Okay.
And it was acceptable, and people cheered for it.
Well, why not?
Because in the movies you can do that shit still, but in real life you have to just kind of chuckle subtly, make fun with your friend, and go, "You're being a douche." You can't do it publicly. It's not nice.
Man, I hate real life.
I do too.
And I'm hating it more every day.
Me too.
You know, I mean, I because there's places I want to be instead of where I am, and all those different things. We all have those. Everybody has those inside of them, where they think they could be doing something differently, or they should be doing something differently, or they should have talked to that person. They should have gone and taken this job, or all sorts of choices. Because it's funny because Lily was telling me that she has a relationship with someone, and it's just in passing. But the person pulled up at Lily's house in a Porsche. And Lily just, you fucking went into this death spiral where you're like, if I'd have done this in 1987, things would be so much different now. Yeah. And I'm in the same boat. We all are.
I'm every morning making those decisions of, do I want to work to have things that are nice, or do I want to work doing things I love and not have those things? And again, a Porsche is not something spectacular, but when you're dropping your car off wondering if you're going to be able to afford to get it fixed, having a friend driving a Porsche just kind of makes you reevaluate every decision you've made in your life.
But also, but the best part too is that you dropped your car off to get fixed. It's the mirror. Like that's the thing. It's not even like anything crucial to the existence of a car. It's literally, let's put it this way: the mirror solely exists so you can look and see what's behind you.
Well, that was the joke I put on Facebook. I don't know if you read it.
I did not.
I hit a trash. I hit a recycling bin with my passenger side mirror.
Yeah.
I hit it so hard, it bent the mirror in. The mirror broke out, smashed against my glass, and etched the shape of the mirror in my passenger side window. I'm surprised it didn't break it. Broke the mirror, broke the motor, broke everything. And
That's a very long post for Facebook, I gotta be honest.
And so what I said was, I broke my passenger right side mirror, and I really think that maybe it's karma, or I can't even remember what the post was, but I think it was something like, it's karma's way of letting me know that God wants me to not look into the past anymore, and that I need to let things go and move on to the future.
How fucking weird is it we both had that same thought? Like, I don't mean to be...
I mean, it was a joke.
Well, understood, but literally, I was about to make that joke, and you just stepped all over it, thankfully. But
physically, I don't believe in any of that shit. In reality, a car was coming up a hill over in the dark with their brights on. It was a big car, and so I moved to the right to keep from being hit, and instead fucked my car up. So being nice, I screwed myself.
Why do you
But-
keep bringing this back around to reality and real life? I don't understand why you're doing that.
Because
We don't.
again,
This
I
is.
made this whole thing about how it was God's way of telling, you know, karma to tell me not to do that. But in reality, I just fucking broke my mirror. There was no big sign in this. It was just another one of shit that happens during the day.
Yeah, but there's no big sign in fucking anything, but you can interpret it any way you want. You could walk outside right now, there could be 3 leaves in a triangle. You'd be like, holy shit, that's telling me that I need to go ahead and find a portal back to the times when I enjoyed fall and I was, oh, wait a minute, it's the changing of the seasons. Oh my God, my colors are changing. It's me. It's the autumn of my life.
All sorts of shit to
Well,
deal
of
with
course,
life.
but you know,
The
but
reality is, I need to get my car fixed, so I need to go make some money to fix it.
you're in a bad headspace to talk to right now. Literally, like, because I'm trying to have fun and mirth with it, and you're just like, no, fuck it, I gotta get this done and do that and do this.
But the reality is not that it's.
Of course, we know the fucking reality. The reality is I'm sitting in a living room talking to whoever the fuck wants to listen or who doesn't listen. I mean, I get that. I know the reality. But, you know, as we talk about it, you're doing what I do, that thing where you just go, fuck. You know, sometimes you wake up and you just go, God damn it, this isn't going to work. It's never going to be better. But nobody wants to, I don't know.
It's going to be better. I know it's going to be better. And that's why I don't look at it as some mystical sign that things need to change and da-da-da-da-da. I just look at it and go, I broke my fucking mirror, so I guess I have to work again today.
Yes, but I will tell you this. In the midst of a comedy show, we can go ahead and make those analogies. We can have some fun with the note, don't look into the past, look into the future thing, instead of just blanket, fucking black and white going, yeah, you know what, fuck it. Yeah, you know what, I shouldn't do anything. I can just get my fucking car fixed. You guys can get me at Mike@MikeSchmidtComedy.com. I mean, yeah, no shit. I shouldn't be Ubering. I shouldn't be driving fucking people. I shouldn't be repairing my car. You shouldn't be, but who fucking cares? We got to do this. This is the part where we try to make it interesting or entertaining for people to listen to.
But see, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is we should. Those are just the things that happen in life. That's not the shit we should get upset about. That's the point I'm making. I mean, you look at it and you go, I should reevaluate my life, but at the same time, I'm doing what I love. So
Yeah, but we're at the
who cares
point,
if
look,
I
you're
get paid for
80,
it?
all right? I'm 95 years old. We're at the point where everything happens. We should look at it and go, man, I got to reevaluate my life. I mean,
no,
literally,
you should.
I'm eating macaroni and cheese at 2 in the morning the other day, and I'm just like, fuck, what am I doing? I should have some protein. I shouldn't be doing this. This is bad for me.
No, but the other side of it is you're a grown-up who does what you love, and you get to sit and eat macaroni and cheese at 2 in the morning. I like macaroni and cheese. I would kill to be able to eat macaroni and cheese right now.
Yes.
Unfortunately, it would literally kill me if I ate macaroni
Right,
and
but
cheese.
don't you understand? That's what I was trying to do about your car. That's what I was saying. It's like, oh, now you won't look in the past. I was doing that, but then you were just like, no, I got to get fucking fixed. It's reality. Well, yeah, because I mean, the reality is it's 2 in the morning. I'm eating macaroni and cheese. But yes, I could look at it and spin it and go, fuck, it's awesome. I can do whatever the fuck I want. I can eat macaroni and cheese at 2 o'clock in the morning. That's what I was trying to do with your
So we're
car.
agreed.
Huh? We were. I mean, I always tell. It's so funny. You know what you did? You did a fucking weird ass Jedi mind trick on me there because I was trying to find the fun in the car and then the kind of the metaphor for the past and all that. And you went, no, fuck it. I just got to fix my car. And then I said, oh, well, the reality is I'm eating mac and cheese until in the morning. And you're just like, no, it means you're a child forever and you're whimsical. And I'm like, well, you just fucking did what I did with your car. You just fucking spun it around.
But yes.
These are the droids you're looking for. Can we fucking agree on that at least? These are the droids you're looking for.
That's the thing.
We're all looking for a droid.
I'm not looking for a droid.
Everyone's looking for a droid.
not.
Bullshit.
I'm not.
You yes and me, motherfucker. What are you doing?
I'm thinking it's hysterical.
No, it's not.
You should see the look on your
Because I'm pissed. I'm trying to fucking do something here, and you keep like you're this comedy cockblock all of a sudden. Like, what the fuck? You know, if you would have said yes, I'm looking for a droid, and we could have gone off. We could have talked about BB-8. Could have talked about fucking Star Wars. Could have done all sorts of shit. I was going there, but you just kept fucking throwing up walls and walls and walls. Fuck you, Get Smart entrance. I don't want to do that.
Excuse me. Have you seen any droids?
We're all looking for droids.
We are. You're right. I'm looking for droids in Alderaan place.
No, you're not. Oh, did you? Is that yours?
No, it's
Oh.
the worst joke ever.
No, it's actually. Well, I'll put it this way: if you made it up right now in this second, it's the greatest joke ever.
No, it's really not. There's a joke about looking for love in Alderaan places.
Oh,
It's
okay.
so
I apologize.
stupid.
I don't know that. I'm not aware of the Star Wars and the
all my friends are
mythology.
geeks.
That they are.
Yes.
Here's my favorite thing. Lynn and I were just talking about like show constructs and stuff, and she's like, "Yeah, I just don't know if there's any place for that like now in modern times." And I'm just like, "You book a show with sword swallowers. Tell me again that there's not a place for it in modern times. You have a show where guys are fire eating. You have a show where a guy played a ukulele and sang a song about his foot or whatever the fuck it
Yeah, but
was.
he doesn't oppress women in it.
Why not?
Because that's not funny to punch down. You know that.
look, if you're performing in a derby and with a ukulele, there's no way you can punch down. You're
you
bottom.
do
You're at the fucking bottom. Seriously, if you are on stage in a bullshit herringbone vest with a ukulele and singing in a high pitched voice while wearing a derby and just being and you are, there's no way logistically you could ever punch down because you are the fucking floor, man. You are the bottom of the entertainment industry. Bullshit.
I disagree.
Terrible. Terrible.
I disagree. Ukulele is a talent. It's not picking on minorities.
No.
It's not picking on women. It's not.
Are you
picking
saying
on-
Don Rickles isn't talented?
Don Rickles is Don Rickles is talented.
Sounds like you're against Don Rickles, and I won't stand for that in this house.
I think there's a time and place for Don Rickles because Don Rickles mocks mockery.
It sounds to me like you are choosing Tiny Tim over Don Rickles, and I will not have that in this
Tiny
house.
Tim over Don Rickles any day.
What?
I'm sorry, I will take a Tiny Tim over a Don Rickles.
Tiny Tim is a mess.
Tiny Tim is an icon.
Dude, whenever any old person bitches about Justin Bieber or anything like that, I just want to look at him and go, fuck you, Tiny fucking Tim. Seriously. That guy was on television.
Yes.
Playing his ukulele and singing Tiptoe Through the Tubes in that stupid voice and that horrible face. That guy looked like a mole. Literally like a, he looked like, he looked like both kinds of moles. He looked like a garden mole who roots around in your yard, and he looks like a mole that you need to get removed. Remove that right now. When I saw him, I'm like, dude, do me a favor, surgically remove this high-pitched motherfucker from here and take that ukulele and jam it in his too tight ass. Hey, Tiny Tim.
You're certainly not tiptoeing around the topic.
Not at all. I'm going to punch him right in his two lips. He shows up. Take that, fucking Tiny Tim.
Tim was awesome.
No.
You are wrong.
No, so awful.
So wrong.
No, there were so many of those people back then, and that's the thing is everybody's just like, now they're like, oh my god, I can't believe these people are famous for doing nothing, like the Kardashians. Tiny Tim was famous for doing nothing at all.
Tiny Tim was famous for playing the ukulele and singing love songs in a high-pitched voice.
Horrific. I'd rather see Kardashian's ass 1,000,000 times over Tiny Tim singing his horrible song.
It says more about you than it does about Tiny
It says more
Tim.
about the world than it does about
it says
that.
more about you.
Tiny Tim's terrible.
You're wrong.
No.
Tiny Tim is awesome.
If Kim
Tiny Tim's
Kardashian,
terrific.
if Kim Kardashian could teach her ass to play ukulele, then we've got a show.
Yeah, but until then, all she is an ass.
Good.
Yeah.
I like it.
Stop making stupid people famous.
Look, I'm not saying I like her. I'm just saying I get why she's famous more than a Tiny Tim would
Why
be
do you
famous.
get? Why is she famous? Because she has a nice ass.
Because she promoted the shit out of herself. She capitalized on. She went
What do you
P.T.
think
Barnum.
Tiny Tim did?
She went
He knew how to
P.T.
play the
Barnum.
ukulele. Tiny Tim at least had a talent.
Please do not tell me you just made the ukulele a talent. Please don't.
Really? Okay. What about
Jake Shimaburo, he's the-
Wonderful Life? What about the entire ukulele orchestra that plays fucking, operas? I mean, no.
Terrible.
Bullshit.
Awful.
Bullshit.
The only one is that Jake
Coming
Shimaburo
from a
guy.
man who talks for a living, really? You're gonna pick on a ukulele player
For a living seems strong.
for a career?
Again.
Talks once a week on a microphone.
Yeah, exactly.
People.
Kills time for an hour every week. And by an hour, I mean 2 hours.
Can I change the subject?
I think that Jake Shimaburo is like, he's the dude. Because he played like fucking While My Guitar Gently Weeps on ukulele. Because not only did it prove that he knew how to play ukulele, but it also proves he understood irony.
Tiny Tim is terrific.
No. Tiny Tim is terribly dead, thankfully. Thankfully, that's a T also. He's thankfully terribly dead.
I thought you would have
Terminated.
Terribly
Terminate Tiny Tim.
terminated.
Uh,
He's terrific. He's the tops.
He's awful.
He's
That dude is awful.
that dude is awful.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
not a fan. So Lily and I are sitting here discussing the things you can't discuss on air and what you can't talk about, and she's got a lot of them. She's got a whole lot of rules, folks.
I don't know.
And here, I will tell you this too. Let's talk about this. I shouldn't even be fucking saying this because we literally started the show and we talked for like 6 minutes and I stopped it and erased it. And I go, look, you can't tell people what we can't talk about because then they're wondering the whole time what the fuck we didn't talk about it. There's no value in that. And here I am bringing it up again because it's.
But here's the thing: we didn't talk about something that's of importance. We talked about something that is of personal importance, and so it's really not something to be talked about on air. I mean,
I get it. I understand it. It's fine. I don't know these people either. So I mean, to me, I'll savage everybody. But the thing is, I can't savage anybody. Like we were talking about Amy Schumer. Amy Schumer just did her. She gave some speech somewhere. What the fuck did she win?
She won the Critics' Choice
Or some-
MVP.
I don't fucking know what she won. All I know is good for her. But I don't know anything about this woman. I've never met her. Do I think she's funny? I think she's doing comedy. So good for her.
Well, it's not your kind of comedy.
Well, I don't care. I tried to watch her HBO special. I watched, and I saw the end of it, and I saw the part where she did like 5 minutes of street jokes that Patrice O'Neal had done on television, like before he died.
Yeah.
And that became a thing where everybody's just like, dude, you fucking ripped off Patrice O'Neal for your closer. And then everybody made it sound like she wrote them with Patrice. That was like, I never got a full clear answer on it. Either she wrote them with Patrice or people just went, shut up. Amy's great. Like literally, like that was kind of the response. And that was the response from New York comedians. Because they know her. They're her friends. And look, I'm not saying she's a hack or a thief. Her fucking show, I hear, is amazingly funny. I heard the 12 Angry Women thing I heard it was a great episode, and women find her empowering and they love her comedy. Good for them. I'm not saying bad things about her. What I'm saying though is on my experience was I saw the HBO special. She did fucking this basically. If it wasn't stolen, it was certainly pedestrian. The bits she did to close the fucking special.
Yeah.
And because that was another thing too. Comics have a different fucking standard. All right, we have a different level. Like, and I include myself in there. Fuck that. I shouldn't. I'm no longer a comic. I'm this again. Like you said, I talk once a week on a microphone. But there used to be like you would see someone, you'd be like, that guy's a fucking hack. You know what I mean? You would talk about that dude being a hack, and then it would get to a point where they would not be shunned. I mean, you'd still. That was the thing. That was another thing comics have to do is we have to be friendly to you, even if you're not funny. Like I knew a dude. There was a dude named Keith Boehm. I'm just going to say his name because who fucking cares? When I started doing comedy, Keith was just, he was just the most pandering hack type dude ever. Here's who Keith Boehm was. His first year doing stand-up, he got a license plate that said funny for money. FNY for MNY. That was his fucking license plate. This guy he'd been doing it maybe a year. He's graduating out of open mics in Orange County. And we hated him. I mean, we liked him as a person. He was an okay guy, but as a comic, you were just like, there was that thing where this guy's a fucking tool bag. He's terrible. And if you ever, there's that rising tide lifts all boats. Well, if the tide ever rose, every other boat would have gone up and we would have made sure Keith went under because it was like he wasn't worth the time. But there were but also that you had this built-in resentment of Keith because Keith had money. Like Keith was driving like a Mercedes and we were like, why are you dabbling in this, man? We're all sleeping and eating fucking crusts of bread and trying to we're entering car show talent shows to try to just win the fucking $500 just so we can pay our rent that month. I mean, we were those dudes where him and there was another guy named Kirk Tryon, who I've talked about on here. Kirk had money too. He was a guy who he would book an out of town gig and he didn't care if he made $100 because he was living with his parents and he didn't have to pay any bills. So we always looked at them and we shunned them in a way, like not really. We were friends with them and we would talk to them. But then, of course, when we'd go to Denny's and it was late night and Kirk and Keith went home, you'd just be like, fucking Kirk and Keith, man, what the fuck? They're not funny. Because that was the thing. They never really paid dues. They just kind of started doing it. And again, we were all starting out, so I guess it's not fair to say that they weren't funny and maybe they grew into performers and maybe right now they're fucking huge. I have no idea. Again, I can't Google them and find them. Well, I mean, at the time, I'm talking about my mindset at the time. Because you ran with a crew of comics and we policed ourselves. I had an incident. I'm not going to, this gets right to what I'm saying. In my circle of comedians, a comedian took a bit of mine and did it on television. And it became some amount of consternation among me and other people that I knew and people like that. And there were back channels and things were handled in a certain way. And this person denied it fervently, but it was a thing. But I remember even in my little group, it was a thing. Well, then I see fucking Amy does this thing and I had Ms. Schumer, I guess. I don't know what I got to call her because I don't know her. And again, please know, I'm not casting aspersions on her or her talent, or I'm not bitching because she's famous and I'm not. It's none of those fucking things. There used to be like a fucking, and again, I'm an old person rattling a saber, but like when I saw that she did those stolen jokes supposedly at the end of her fucking special, I was like, all right, well, here come the long knives. Let's see the fucking comics carve her up, because that's the sin, is you, especially from Patrice, who is a fucking legend as far as I'm concerned. I don't care. That is a dude, I watch him and I'm almost ashamed to call myself a comedian when I watch a Patrice O'Neal special or a spot, because I'm like, that guy fucking lived it. Yeah. You hear those doors slam? That's fucking Lou the racist bartender storming out in a huff of his own house. Who the fuck's he fighting with in there? Or maybe, maybe he heard me through the wall. He's like, I can't take this disparaging Amy Schumer. 1 second longer. Slam. But Patrice O'Neal is a guy who, when I see him perform, when I watch his spots, I'm ashamed of myself for not being better at what I want to do. Because he could just fucking walk out and he just had funny exploding out of him at all times. I mean, any radio spot, go listen to the fucking Opie and Anthony stuff. When he would be on Tough Crowd, I wanted to consume everything he did because I watched him and I went, that's the motherfucker right there. Yeah. That's the dude. When I saw Patrice O'Neal, I feel the way comics in the 70s must have felt when they saw Richard Pryor. You know what I mean? Or when they saw fucking George Carlin and just because Patrice also, not only was he fucking hysterical, he had that element of danger. Like he would say any fucking thing to any fucking buddy. And that is a trait to be admired in a comedian. Yeah. Absolutely. And also if anybody gave him a shit about it, he'd just go, fuck you, man. I don't care what you think. And it's like, yes, exactly. That's what comedy is. You should be able to say whatever the fuck you want to whoever the fuck you want, and that's it. And you know what? If you alienate people, you own that. And you go, yeah, but you know what? This is the way I fucking feel. So there you go. I mean, that's the way you shouldn't. These people apologizing, these people crawling up and going, hey man, I'm you know what? I'm sorry. If you're offended by that, no. Comedian is going back even to the fucking court jester of the I don't know, the 1800s. When the fuck was that? 1700s? Who the fuck knows? The 400s? I have no fucking clue. Last week, in the court jester in fucking Bularia. I just made up a country.
Oddly enough, when I went to divorce court, there was a jester there.
Was there?
Yeah.
I don't doubt it. Well, you divorced him.
Twice.
Yes. So, fucking, you speak truth to power. You say what the fuck you want. Yeah. And like we've talked about.
Here's the problem, though. When comics become power, it becomes, they're no longer the underdog speaking truth to power because they are now the power. It's why people are so upset about Bill Cosby. It's why people are so upset when those people who rise then do something fucked up.
All right. Well, look, Bill Cosby himself, regardless of whatever, if we're going to take that aside from everything, is still unbelievably brilliant. And I'm going to take it just at face value on the work. Yeah. Now, is he a good person? No, clearly not a good person.
But the point is, so then where are you punching up at that point when the hero is the one that has always punched up and now he's at the top? Or that, I took
you got to take that?
I took offense by Amy's MVP speech because it was so absolutely ridiculous.
That is a phone, by the way, in case you're hearing that buzzing. Lily's ignoring a call, thankfully.
My vibrator's on. I was bored. I'm just kidding.
You should have turned it on 8 years ago.
That's an Amy Schumer joke.
Should have turned it on 8 years ago.
Yeah. No, the thing that I find about Amy Schumer, like I do a character called Boobdini that does magic, okay? I pull shit out of my vagina. I tell jokes. I'm like, yuck, yuck, yuck. I don't take any of that seriously. That character on stage is not like this empowering, great, I'm going to change the world with my vagina character. Everything she does seems like, oh my God, no one's ever had a vagina before and spoken about it on stage.
But people have ascribed that power to her.
I know, and it's stupid and it's ridiculous and it's.
But that speaks to the times we're in. That speaks to social media and it speaks to people feeling powerless. And also, I will.
Yes, and so she's at the top now. She is now going to be the punchline of the jokes. The 17-year-old critic, who is the world's youngest movie critic, posted a tweet about her and said, and I didn't want to talk about this, but posted a tweet and said, hey, I spent the night last night with Amy Schumer. Is there a man out there who hasn't? Or something along that line. And he slut-shamed her, essentially. Okay.
Yeah, so fuck that guy.
But no, I disagree. She has made a career about being the girl that sleeps with everybody and that does that. So when the joke is made, yuck, 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 we're all in on the joke. That's your character. Why do you get mad then? It's a feminist backlash bullshit.
Well, did she get mad?
Well, she sent a snarky little post back like, thanks for that. I'm glad I took a picture with you. Say hi to your dad. I mean, it was just, she wrote back this off the cuff.
Oh, that was the thing where she said, I get it because I'm a whore.
Yeah, I get it because I'm a whore. Yeah.
I'm glad I took a picture with you.
Her character is being a joke of being a whore, so when a 17-year-old kid then goes, ha, I spend the night with her, when he didn't spend the night with her, it's obvious he didn't spend the night with her. He made a fucking stupid adolescent joke by a kid.
See, but this is the fucking line we all have to walk, okay? This is the line. Yes. But right.
That's the point is now she's up here.
But no, you're not. You're conflagrating it with fame. And you're conflagrating, because again, like Jimmy Walker, I worked.
Power.
Are you going to shout at me the whole
Yes.
time? Okay, please continue.
Okay.
I worked with Jimmy Walker, And Jimmy Walker was famous for working these. He would work these small clubs. This is after Good Times, and people would come up to him and they'd be like, "Dynamite, hey, say it," and they tried to get him to say it, and he would not say it, no matter what. He'd say, even on stage.
Yeah.
People in the crowd would say it to him, and they would say, "Hey, it's dynamite," and he'd go, "Later. Oh, I'll get to that later." Da-da. And then he'd finish his act and he'd walk off. He would never do it. Now, is he a jagoff because he won't yell dynamite because that's what they want to see? Or are they jagoffs for saying, "Dude, say dynamite," and not recognizing that he has so much more to offer?
Well, I think it's a combination of both. When you are something in public and you portray yourself to be something in public and you become an icon of that, it's disingenuous to turn your back on it.
But all right.
Tim Curry hated the Rocky Horror Picture Show, wouldn't go to conventions for a long time, wanted to be recognized as more than that. He now has had a career as more than that. He's had a stroke. They just announced he's going to be back as the narrator in the TV version that they're doing.
Right.
He came back to it after how many years of being not wanting to be identified
Because
with it.
because you come around to the point where you just go, you know what?
Yes.
It's time for me to celebrate what I've done, and it's time for me to
celebrate it. Though.
Yes, but when you're 27 and someone's calling you a whore on Twitter because they think it's okay because you've called yourself a
didn't
whore,
call her
fuck
a
that
whore.
guy.
He made a childish joke based on the character that she is.
Yes, but I'm the kind of guy who gets mad when somebody gives me the wrong bread on a sandwich. So if somebody made a joke about me in social media and called me a whore, whether they meant it as a goofy joke or whatever the
But
fuck,
he did
because that's the
call
thing.
her a whore.
Because
He
here,
said I slept with her last night like so many men have.
But
It's
here's
an
the thing.
innuendo. It's a that's what she said joke that a 17-year-old kid made.
right? But I'm coming down firmly on the side of a comic here, and if she wants to savage that fucking kid, then he deserves it.
I think she did, and I think it's fine that she did.
Good.
But at the same time, when you're in that position, I think her response was really funny and kind of smart. I get it because I'm a whore. That's right. Say hi to your dad. She just put him in his place jokingly.
Yeah, good.
And I think it brought attention to women's issues. But at the same time, had she ignored it and no one ever talked about it, it would have been just a little shitty joke that some kid told.
Right, but you're asking her.
I'm not asking her. I'm just saying.
No, because you just said if she would have ignored it. Okay, so maybe she gets 100 "you're a whore" jokes from people on Twitter that day, and the 101st makes her go, "You know what? Fuck this," and she says something.
I get catcalled every day, all the time. I choose my battles. And I'm not picking on either of them for what they did. He ended up apologizing and saying I should leave the comedy to you.
Yeah,
which
you
I think
should.
was really smart. But he didn't apologize like, "Oh my God, I'm an idiot. I didn't mean to be a feminist asshole." He was like, "You're right. I made a snarky comment and I should have. You're right." And I think it was one of the greater outcomes of that type of stuff. Should she have been called out for the whole tail end of that story being, as you said, a shitty close for HBO as opposed to stolen jokes?
Well, I was waiting, like I said,
Yeah.
look, whatever the fuck, stolen jokes, who fucking care? But that was the thing, is I was waiting for comics to come after her. Because again, like I said, Patrice did those jokes, and again, Patrice may have gotten them from Urban Dictionary or whatever the fuck. It might have been just those. It's almost like doing the dozens types of jokes. And so when she did them, I was kind of like, whoa, because I knew that was something Patrice had done, and so I was like, all right, well, here come the comics. Are going to go, hey man, what the fuck? Well, no, in reality, all the New York comedians, because they have a personal relationship with her, they were like, hey man, she's not a thief, she's funny, and she didn't, she obviously, it was like because again, like I said, there was no real definitive answer. There was, hey, she and Patrice created those together, and then there was, hey, she and Patrice, that was the whole thing that they had because they were good friends, and then there was, Amy's great. You know what I mean? There was no. The bottom line is somebody should have said, hey, don't close your HBO show with fucking pedestrian street jokes. Like and again, what the fuck do I know? Again, I'm talking into a void every week in a goddamn microphone in a goddamn apartment in a goddamn valley. All right, I understand. I'm no arbiter. I'm not the guy who's supposed to tell everybody what the fuck they should do because obviously I've made every wrong fucking choice going forward. That's fine. But I remember when I did stand up, and if you did anything that was even, there was a hint of it. I mean, I had a joke once. What was the joke? I don't know, but the fucking phrase I used was, he was pretty cavalier about the whole thing in my joke.
Yeah.
Okay. 2 months later, we're at the Barn in Tustin there's this open mic every Monday night. It's a book show, but they work in some open micers. And a dude gets booked and he goes up and he actually does my bit. And I mean, it's my bit because he uses the phrase, he was pretty cavalier about the whole thing. I mean, there's dude, no, trust me. I almost put it in there as a little bomb to make sure nobody took it. You know what I mean? Because that was me and who I was. When I wrote, I used to write with a flourish. I used to have like I liked colorful language. So I did stuff like that because it's kind of a little show-offy. You know what I mean?
Well, it also makes it harder for other people to retell tell your joke.
Well, and it's me. It was who I was because I like language.
Yeah.
So I was influenced by Dennis Miller. I was influenced by George Carlin. You know, those were the guys who influenced me. So I liked that type of language. And I was in the crowd. I was there and saw him do my bit. And I this weird thing where I was just kind of like froze, like what the fuck. So he walks off stage, and I'm a dick now, but I mean I was terrible when I was 24. 24, 67. 25. I was 25. And I met him coming off stage. He goes walking off. I literally walk, if you had the diagram, he's like, good night. And you just see me walking to the corner of the stage to meet him. And he comes walking off. And I go, hey, Tom, where'd you get that Ted Kennedy joke? And he's like, what are you talking about? And I go, that Ted Kennedy joke, where did you get it? He goes, well, I wrote it. And I go, you didn't, Ted, or Tom. I'm kind of forgetting names. Because I wrote that, and it's pretty clear by the phrase cavalier that that's my bit, and you've been in the room when I've done it. And he just went, oh my God.
Yeah.
And I went, yeah. I go, are you gonna give me the I didn't know that I took it thing? And he's like, well, no. He goes, I guess I kind of did. No, yeah, because I would not buy you saying, well, I wrote this myself and I don't know where it came from, because my fucking phrase is right in the center of it. And he copped to it immediately, because again, I was like 8 inches taller than him, which probably didn't help his cause. But I basically wouldn't even let him off the stage. He was like on the side of the stage. The other comic going up had to walk around us as we had our discussion. Because again, that was the thing, is I mean, all we had is our jokes. All we had is our fucking material. That's it. Especially then, when I'm just starting out. So I thought that they would come out and go, hey, and instead they all kind of rolled over for her. And again, well, the thing is, yes, but also they know her better than I do. So maybe they were all willing to go, hey, well, you know what, that's fine. Or, but I don't, it's these caustic motherfuckers like Colin Quinn and these dudes who are like, they don't suffer fools at all. Rich Voss. I mean, those dudes, they don't fuck around, man. And that's the whole point, was the New York comedy scene. I used to talk to guys here, because I regret not going to New York to do stand-up. All right.
Still can.
Anyway, I regret not having gone there. Because when I had the choice to go to LA or New York, I went to Los Angeles, because I was familiar with the area out here. Because I had lived here from 87 until 93. And then in 97, I had my choice to go. I could have gone either way, and I wound up coming back to Los Angeles. When I first moved to do stand-up, I could have gone to New York as well. But I didn't know anybody, and it would have been scary as fuck. Yeah. Honestly, I didn't know anybody. I didn't have the money. I didn't think, and I wasn't sure how to do it. But I should have done it. I should have just uprooted it. And again, this is all shit you say when you're 48. You know what I mean? It's like when you just go, fuck, I should have done that, or I could have done this, or I wish I would have done that. We all have that. Everybody has that when it's dark and fucking quiet, and you look back and you go, God damn it, I should have done that. And even today, there's shit I should have done yesterday that I didn't do, that I could have done, or I ran out of time, or whatever the fuck. But like I said, I thought that scene was a rough scene and kind of a rugged scene, but they all kind of rally and support one another. But at the same time, I thought they would keep you in check, because even out here in LA, we kept you in check. If you did something that was not yours, you got bruised up for it a little bit. There was a kid out here. Let's call him. I don't want to say his real name, because I think he's still working. I don't know, but there was a thing out here.
Schnitzel noodle.
He's hilarious. That was actually the bit he stole. But he was a stand-up out here who was basically stealing. He stole a bunch of East Coast dudes' jokes and came out here and was doing them, and not realizing there were so many transplants out here. But this kid but here's the thing. This is what drove us crazy. He got on TV. He got
great writers.
But that's the point. That was the thing, is everybody was fucking furious, because it was like, and so then the word got back to the East Coast. So then there was an incident here, and I don't know if it was when he went back to Boston or here, but he walked into a room and there were 3 guys who he did not expect to see, and they locked the door. That's all I'm going to say. And I don't know what happened in there, or maybe I do, or maybe I don't want to talk about it. Who knows? But it was handled. Okay. And so that's why, when you took material and you took stuff, there used to be this thing where everybody's like, oh my God, it's the cardinal sin of comedy. And, Leno used to always go, well, write another joke. Hey, that's fine. I just write another joke. I just write it. But it's like, yes, it's easy to write another joke. It's not easy to go out and beat up another car. You know what I mean?
I hate comedy so much, because I've had people ask me why I don't do stand-up, and I'm like, because it's brutal. Because I host and tell jokes. I tell jokes that I get out of the Milton Berle joke book. We've talked about this.
Yes.
I have Milton Berle. I have fucking Shecky Green. I have all of them. I have all of their joke books. I have, any joke book that was written by somebody that published jokes. I own it because that's where I find my material, because I'm not going to write material. I'm going to tell one-liner jokes in between tits. That's what I do. And I was emceeing a show in Long Beach, and I told a joke, and a guy in the front row literally went, "Boo! That's Andrew Dice Clay's joke." And I had to stand there and go, okay, am I going to fight asshole in the front row and tell him that actually that was written by Milton Berle and that Andrew Dice Clay either came up with the same joke or got it out of the same joke book I did from 1957? And I fucking had to make the decision to go, look at my tits. You think I write my own material? I mean, that was the joke I came up with as a backlash, because I was like, I can't lose the audience over this guy coming out and telling me that I stole a joke. It's fucking, I don't know how comics do it.
Well, here's how comics do it, because we don't usually get some guy in the crowd going, "You stole that joke."
Yeah, but imagine
Other times comedians will, we would self-police,
this is the day and age we're in.
that's what I'm saying. Now with Twitter
It's
and now
wild.
with everything, people say, they go, "Oh, that's," because it happens all the time on
Yeah.
Twitter or whatever. They go, "Oh man, you took that joke from this guy." I remember, I think it was Neil Brennan who got into a thing, and somebody's like, "Oh man, you stole that joke from," and he's just like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Like literally, you should. And this will sound terrible, and I'm sure it'll sound elitist, but I don't fucking care. The general public should not be able to go to a comedian and go, "You didn't do that. That's not your thing." Or and fucking, who are you to question me or my artistic process?
Public anymore.
Yeah, there is.
No, there isn't.
There's fucking civilians and there's comedians.
There is an army of amateurs.
Yes, who've made themselves the arbiters of what's cool or what's hip or what's funny or what you should do, and it's the worst. And it's like, it's so funny when you say that she gets tweeted by that guy and she should just kind of blow it off or whatever. Well, let's look at this.
I from the feminist aspect.
Fine.
I was like, that is the least of my worries when I'm a feminist.
All right, well, here's the thing.
Half joke about my character.
Okay, well but maybe not even from a feminist. That's fine. You come at it from a feminist point of view. I come at it from hey, people think they can say whatever the fuck they want to you because you're kind of a public figure point of view, and eventually you get fucking tired of it.
Yes.
People who send me emails and tell me that I'm a fucking asshole or hey, you're never going anywhere. I mean, you hear that enough and you just kind of go, all right, man, well, I'm ready to fucking duke it out. Let's go. Who wants a fucking piece of me? Let's do it.
And again, in the bigger picture, I understand why someone speaks up, because it's the little microaggressions, as is constantly being told to me by third wave feminists. But I'm more concerned with the construction worker walking down the street who has no connection with me than the kid who was 17 years old who took a joke with me and thought it would be funny to relate to my character.
Yes, but again,
Because I look at it as he is in my circle of peers, and we all nudge each other and make jokes. That's kind of how I looked at it. If one of my people in my audience that I have gone to breakfast with had made that joke on a picture on my Facebook page, I wouldn't have thought twice about it. If Joe General Public from the Midwest came in and called me a whore, having not known my act, not knowing why I was topless or not knowing, that's a different story. The
For you.
things that you do within your friends and because I'm sure
that guy's not her friend. I hear what you're
I
saying.
agree.
Okay, I know what you're saying, but as someone who,
And again, I'm not perfect, I'm not right, and I'm not going to tell anybody that their feelings are right or wrong. But in the big picture of stuff, I just laughed and I was like, this is a thing on Facebook right now? Really?
yeah.
It just made me laugh. I'm like, again, I saw a woman pee on Sunset Boulevard because there are no public bathrooms anymore. There's no place you can walk down Sunset Boulevard, walk in and go to the bathroom.
Okay. I don't know why that's coming up.
Because we have lost as a society how to take care of people and connect with people on a real basis.
Well, I mean,
So
getting to the
we now have
restroom
a
deal.
fight over that.
Well, that happens. I mean,
But that's a real issue in the world.
Well,
as
no,
opposed to
you-
some 17-year-old kid making a stupid, shitty joke.
Yes, but when it's you getting the shitty joke made about you, it's a real issue. Don't you understand?
I guess.
I mean, I
I
guess
guess.
because again, the lack of restrooms is not an issue until you have to piss in the street, and then it becomes your issue.
But the lack of restrooms is a real issue for society, as opposed to one little kid making a microaggression stupid joke.
Well, here's the thing. I
That's
will agree
how
with
I
you.
look at those
Fine,
things.
but I will agree with you on the lack of restrooms being a societal problem. But at the same time, I've also a guy who has allowed the general public to use a restroom, and they shit on the wall. So you go, oh, fuck, maybe that's why this dude can't go in there and use this. Maybe that's why there's a rule all of a sudden.
I understand why there are rules, but I'm talking about our infrastructure in society in general. We have decided that homeless are pigeons and we don't care. We have decided that if you have an alcohol problem or you're mentally ill, it's not my problem. We've decided that it's easier to drive by someone on the side of the road or not look at them or stare at our phone because we've made a decision as a society to deal with microaggressions over real issues right now.
Yeah, everybody has. It's a free for all. It's a free for all, and
but
everybody.
I think that was my point. I don't even know what my point was at this point, which is why I didn't want to talk about it. You know what? I'm going to change the subject. What kind of toilet paper is in your bathroom?
Charmin Ultra.
Charmin Ultra?
Yeah.
Strong or soft?
I don't know. Soft, strong. I don't know. Why? What does that matter?
Because I went to the bathroom and thoroughly enjoyed it. I was just like, this is a nice toilet paper.
Oh, I don't fuck around.
I know. I'm sorry. It was something I was going to ask you when I watched that. When I
No,
walked
it's
out
fine.
earlier.
No, I literally I buy, because Jill made fun of me when I was by her place.
Yeah.
She had paper plates in her house, but they were those ones that are made out of like basically packing foam.
Yeah.
You know, those little popcorns that go in a thing. And so when you put a sandwich on it, it'll snap the plate generally in half. I mean, it doesn't, but it can. And so she had those plates, and I've never said anything. And she buys napkins that are they just say napkins, you know what I mean? Or like, nap-kins with a Z. And I have to I grab like 4 of those, and it's just like rubbing a fucking sandpaper against your face. I mean, it's brutal. So we were out, and I said we needed plates and napkins the last time I was there, and I go, hey, can I ask a favor? And she's like, what? And I go, can we get, like, I like there's these plates that they're actually like strong plates. I go, they're not chinettes where they're made of fucking thick material, but and she goes, honey, I don't care. Get whatever you like. So then I grab them, and then there's like, I'm doing the number because there's like 70 of the Walmart brand versus 60 of the Hefty brand, but this Walmart brand is like 14 cents less, and I'm doing the math. And she's just like, just grab plates. Just fucking grab them. And I'm like, yeah, but when you just grab plates, that's what leads you to have a fucking cabinet full of goddamn packing foam. You know, it's like you get the stronger plates and try to save a couple of pennies, whatever the fuck. So I grab them and I put them in. And then I went, and also, your napkins are kind of a thing. Can I get, there's these napkins called Vanity Fair. They're very fancy. They're almost like they're not a cloth, but they're a dinner napkin. All right, they're for adults. They're not some like grape jelly fucking wipe up mess bullshit napkin that she's got.
Folded paper towels.
Even folded paper towels would be an improvement over the ones that she buys. You know what I mean? They're just.
I don't want my napkins to have a moon texture.
No, that's the thing. They're kind of like it feels like a basketball. Yeah. Like it's got dimples.
Because I made a mistake buying toilet paper because we had switched and bought some Scott at one point, but I didn't know which one, and so I went to the grocery store and I bought this Scott toilet paper, and I said to Eddie, I just want to go find somebody I don't like and toilet paper their house with it because I don't want to put it on my ass again. And he just started laughing at me, and I'm like, this is evil toilet paper.
It's like Kleenex. I buy puffs.
That's what I'm
I buy puffs with lotion.
So I'm like, okay, so it is Charmin. I thought it was, but I wasn't 100% sure.
So I said
Charmin is what I want. I think that's what I wanted.
I said to Jill, I wanted to get the Vanity Fair napkin. She's like, honey, I don't. Well, that's fine. Get whatever you want. And I go, okay. And she goes, but you bought the last napkins that are in my house. I'm like, I don't think I did really. And she's like, no, you did. Like you went out and you bought those napkins that are there that you don't like. You bought those. And I don't think I did. But if I did, it's only because she was paying for them and I didn't want to buy the expensive ones and then have her go, hey, why the fuck did you buy the expensive napkins? And then I got to justify why I spent another $1 of her money. And so I bought the ones that she's normally used. Like it was this. And then I'm like, are you really going to have this discussion in a fucking Walmart right now? You're going to go, well, honey, no, here's the thing. I bought those napkins because I have a weird thing with finances. And so I didn't want to spend one more of your dollars on the good napkins when I'm the one who wants the good napkins and you don't care about the condition of the napkins. Because again, she's tired of me already as it is. So then when I go through this fucking talk and I try to... all right. Yeah. All right. You know, it's funny you would say that because again, let's talk about this fucking thing that just fucking happened to me. All right. This, fuck. All right. As you know, folks, I've decided that I'm a guy who has to drive people around for a living. It's a sad turn of events. And it's also, I will tell you this, it is bombing miserably. Something is, I have been able to drive for Uber since the beginning of the year. I don't know what it is. I was by Jill for a couple of weeks and I couldn't sign in there because you're out of state. And I wrote them to make sure and they go, no, it's just you're out of state. So then I came back to town and I tried to sign into my Uber account and it won't do it. It keeps saying, oh my God, your account's not been activated yet. And then I wrote them and they said, well, you need to reactivate your documents, like your registration, your insurance, all this bullshit. So I was like, all right. And so I did all that, and I still couldn't get on. And here's the thing about Uber, all right? They're run by a ghost. They don't have a phone number where you can call up and talk to anybody. They have nobody that you can contact. There's just this army of bots spitting out responses to whatever concern you may have. And they don't give a fuck. They really don't. I mean, I drive for them because it's useful for me and it's what I have right now. It's not my choice. It's not like I'm like, this is the greatest. No, it's fucking terrible, but it's what I have to do. And I got to be honest with you, man. I sit here every day and I wistfully look back at the days when I was Travis Barbecue. And I know I never thought I would do that. Like I would bitch about that fucking job. And again, and this is why I recognize why Amy Schumer got pissed at that fucking guy who tweeted her. Again, I bitch about fucking everything. I bitch about it all. And then when everybody comes to me and goes, well, it's not that bad. Fuck you. It's not that bad. You're not me. So at Travis Barbecue, I had it all. I like literally yesterday I had cash and I'm counting it up to put it in the bank. I used to put cash in the bank every goddamn day. Like I would make money every single fucking day. Well, now I'm at the, because that, let's put it this way. I used to be at the mercy of people's stomachs. Everybody's got to eat. You got to eat to stay alive. So I had a gig. Well, now I'm at the whim of laziness. Does somebody want to not walk? That's the thing, is does somebody want to fucking ride? And there's enough other things that they're competing with to where I can't sit here and just be like, well, I can count on money. No, I can't. I really can't. And when I was delivering food for Baby Blues or whatever for Barbecue House, there was only me and two other dudes doing it. Well, now I will take a picture and just start putting them up. There'll be 15 cars around me. Like I'll sign into Uber or whatever, and I haven't yet, but I just signed up for Lyft. So I activated my Lyft account and I go in there and I laugh because there's 9-10 cars around me a block away wherever the fuck I go. So it's just they've brought in so many people to do this that they don't, again, like I say to everybody all the time, if Uber could have 10,000 drivers take one person for a ride, they would do it.
Yep.
If each person took one person and went home, they'd be happy because they made 10,000 fares and you made one. They don't give a fuck about you at all. And that's fine. And look, just like I don't give a fuck about them. If the government comes and shuts them down and takes them apart and sues them and throws them in fucking rideshare jail, good for them. Take it. I have no corporate loyalty to you motherfuckers. I'm not in a union. My union is fucking SAG. That's it. I'm in that union. It's like when I was in the grocery store union before some things happened. I liked that. I liked being part of a union. That was pretty cool because you felt like we were all in it together. Well, now...
You weren't in it with them.
Well, I was in it with them. I was in it too deep with them. And it's like SAG will go to bat for me, but like this fucking job, this is nothing. This is just, you know what I'm doing again? I'm doing comedy, but now with cars. Like literally there's 1,000 guys all trying to get the same fucking dough in the same spot and you're all fucking fighting with one another and it causes you to foster this weird dissension among one another. I've pulled up alongside a dude at a stoplight with an Uber sticker and I kind of look over at him like, yeah, I'm an Uber guy too. And he looks at me like the fucking Japanese fucking sportscasters in Better Off Dead. Like we're waiting for a ping to drag off and get the blonde who needs to go a mile. I mean, what the fuck, man? It's terrible. Dude, the fucking rideshare economy is a bust. We're all going under. When's the flood? Seriously, when is the goddamn flood? Because I know when the flood hits, Uber will have a boat program they'll try to sign everybody up for so you can fucking tool around and get people off roofs at fucking Katrina Till. Fuck, god damn it.
Does no one know that this isn't going to work because it's based on socialism? There's no money in it. Ride share is right in there. When it's sharing, that means there is no money involved.
Uber just cut their rates again. Uber cut their rates again for what the drivers make.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they did it at the beginning of the year. And so now, I will tell you this too. I got signed up to some Uber Facebook page and it is just, I don't know if I talked about it last week or not. It is just people bitching over and over about it and talking about how terrible it is. And look, I get that. But I'll tell you what, when I do it, I try to put a spin of funny on it. These people are just like humorless and terrible. They're so bad.
Well, that's because they were sold a bill of sale. They thought they were going to be a taxi cab driver who makes billions of dollars.
You can find on fucking Facebook, or not on Facebook, on YouTube, there's commercials for Uber. They were like, you'll make $35 an hour. And like maybe that was the case for like a day.
Yeah.
The first day before you signed up 100 guys or whatever the fuck. But there's not,
But it's multi-level marketing as well because you're constantly being told to bring people under you to make $100.
I haven't been able to sign into Uber for a long time. 2 weeks. I've sent them at least 6 emails. And again, there's nobody to talk to. There's no one to fucking get on board and say, hey, look, what is the problem here? So finally, they keep saying, hey, toggle your airplane mode and do this. And I'm like, fuck. So I do all that, but then I get online. So I finally fix it. All right, I kill my Bluetooth and I do whatever, and I get online as of like last Monday. So I drive for fucking 2 days. I don't get one Uber fare, not one. I'm lifting people, but I'm not getting any Ubers. And so I write them and I go, look, I've gone 11 hours without a ride. And they wrote me and they're like, oh, well, make sure you go, you know what? You shouldn't go to the hot zones where everybody is. There's a lot of drivers out there. And I'm like, no, it's statistically impossible for me to not get one fucking ride in 2 days, especially because before I went out of town, I was doing 75 rides easy a week. And I'm not getting one. So something's up. I can't figure out what the fuck it is. So finally, like I said, I'm going back and forth and writing them. And you know what? I'm going to fucking read this on the air. I'm just gonna, because it's like, this is the level of customer fucking experience you get, or customer,
service.
I have to read this dude's email.
Service. I
have to read, because again, when they write you initially, it's bad. All right. Where is this dude? I got to have it on here. Please. Yeah, now I'm scrolling through. I should just fucking stop and look. Yeah, all right, I found it. But so I wrote them, and I'm like, I don't want to read the whole email exchange, but I mean, well, fuck it, I'll write what I wrote. Can someone give some attention to this matter? Whatever. I deleted the app and re-downloaded. I've done all this stuff. Whatever. I wrote all this. Here's the response I get from, and I won't say his name, but again, I think they're all phony names over there anyway, because there's nobody there. There's no there there. They're the fucking Oakland of rideshare places, because there is seriously no there. All right, here's what this dude wrote. Hi, Michael. Thanks for writing in. Happy to help you with this. As I've checked on your account, and I'm going to read this, by the way, and how do you pronounce, is it SIC, S-I-C? You know, when there's, so I'm going to read it with errors intact, and you try to parse it out and make sense of it. I know what he meant, but this is a guy who is definitely ESL. I mean, I don't think there's any doubt this guy is English as a second language. Hi, Michael. Thanks for writing in. Happy to help you with this. As I've checked on your account, I've found no problems with it that hinders you to receive trip requests. What I would do here is to share this website to help you in receiving more trip requests. Now, I went to that website. All it is a place that goes, you should go where people are who want to go into cars. I mean, it's like that fucking simple and stupid. Yeah. Like, there's no key to it. There's no truth. It's just like, hey, we have hot zones in Los Angeles. And sometimes when you go there, vroom, vroom, wee, honk, honk. I mean, it's just so fucking childish and stupid. Because again, they've hired a childish and stupid workforce. They've hired people who have now bottomed out and can't get anything else in their fucking lives. It's not like these are Fortune 500 executives who are picking up drunks at 2:00 in the morning. No, it's the fucking indigent, the haunted, the felons, the dregs of society are who driving their cars around and picking up the other dregs of society. That's what they've created. They've created an ant farm is what they've created. Essentially, the shittiest ants get rides from shitty ants, and they get dropped off and they vomit in their ant car, and then I got to go ahead and tell the queen, yeah, everything's fine, and here's a crumb. Fuck! So, the website will show you areas that are high in demand for trip requests, and this is based on the data collected from partners and riders. This will give you the edge from other partners/drivers. Yeah, that's what I want, is the edge. I want one call. If you have further questions or concerns, please let me know at any convenient time you have. Thank you so much for taking your time reaching us out. By the way, I just wanted to share this with you. It just that I can't help but noticed that you had some awesome trips. This goes to show how passionate and dedicated you are in partnering with Uber. Keep it up. That's the partners we're looking for. Feel free to shoot us up another email and we'll accommodate you with open arms. I wish you blissful days with marvelous trips. For further reference, you can always visit our help site. You have a great rest of your day. You stay awesome. Regards, this guy. That sounds like a committee of people went, hey, write that guy a bullshit email so he feels good about himself. I mean, it's just so bad, and it didn't solve my problem at all.
Have you gone online to see if it's because you have both on your phone now?
Yes, that's not true. I know people specifically who drive for both and have them both on at the same time. Okay. Because I thought that too. And then what I thought was maybe Uber they could sense that I have them both and they just decided to punish me by not letting me get any pings. Yeah. I don't fucking know, man. All I know is I went online and Googled it before I did it. And I also specifically know people who have both and have them on at the same time and get both. Now, I should tell you this, when I signed in online, like I can sign in. I fixed it so I can sign in. I'm just not getting any ride requests. I don't even see any surge notifications, which is when they tell you, oh, there's busy over here, it's busy over there. I'm not getting any of that bullshit. And so that's why I know it's like I'm a ghost. I don't exist. Like I'm on the grid, but I'm not getting pinged. I can't figure it out. So I finally wrote After that, the next day I went, look, can I talk to a supervisor or somebody who has some sort of stroke over there? Like I can't understand why this is so hard. And someone wrote me, fuck it, I'll just read this. This was the response I got from that one. This is the response I got. I shouldn't even fucking do this, but I am. Fuck. Hi, Michael. Thanks for bringing this to our attention. I apologize for any inconvenience caused. The issue has been resolved. If you continue to run into any problems, let us know and we'll look into it immediately. We appreciate your understanding and patience here. Please don't hesitate to reach out if we can help with anything else. Best, this person.
The issue has been resolved.
I don't know if you know that, Lily. They are well aware of the fact that the issue's been resolved by the fact that, I don't know, they can look. I don't fucking know. I don't know. What do you mean the issue's been resolved?
Oh, a supervisor contacted you. The issue was resolved.
Dude. So here we sit. Now it's fucking Tuesday. I still can't sign in to Uber. I can't. I can sign in. I could go online, but I would not get pinged by anybody ever, anywhere. And I cannot figure it out for the life of me. So then stupid me, I went to that Facebook page that I'm a part of and I posted on there. I'm like, is this happening to anyone else? And I explained everything. And then they're just like, because they're all dicks. Everybody's a dick. Everybody in the world. Nobody was just like, man, that sounds really weird. People are like, you know what, man? Hot zones don't just do it. You got to really start getting out there and looking for rides. And I'm just like, did you not read the part where I said I've been online for 11 hours? I'm not parked in one spot. I do, and because that's the thing is I don't want to fight. I don't want to go, look, I've been in East LA and Marina Del Rey and fucking Hollywood and Northwood. Northwood, I just made up a place. Fucking North Hollywood. I've been all over the fucking place looking, and it never pings. It never goes off. I'm getting Lyft rides in those places, but I'm not getting anybody, literally nobody from Uber. Please, something's wrong. So someone else writes me after that person said the issue is resolved and says, you know what? It looks like you're going to have to come to our help center. It's located here in Los Angeles. Please come out. It's open from 8 to 5:30. Finally, maybe there will be a person there who can help me. Hop in the car yesterday, drive down there, open up, get out. Sorry, closed for Martin Luther King holiday.
Well, of course.
But they don't have a phone. Why is Uber closed for fucking Martin Luther King? He didn't say I have a ride. He said I have a dream. Fuck.
Everybody's closed for Martin Luther King.
I have a dream. You'll fucking help me when I come down there and fix out so I can give people a goddamn ride. Jesus Christ. So I literally drove down there because you can't call ahead. And I get, it's 20 miles from my house and I pull up and I park and again, there's just a sign stuck on the door. We will be closed for Martin Luther King. What the fuck? And then I'm recording today, so I can't fucking head down there today because I won't be done in time. Dude. So I haven't Ubered. I mean, so I'm going to go fucking broke, man. I don't know what the fuck's going to happen because the only thing I have, that and Lyft. And Lyft is not exactly breaking the bank. I took two, all right, so this all started by me telling you this fucking story, and I'll tell you it. I'm driving the other night. First of all, I'll tell you this. I took 3 nights ago. I don't know. Fucking could have been last month. I picked up some people, and Lyft has a thing. They've also cut their fares now to compete with Uber. And I mean, the whole thing's a fucking mess. So Lyft has a thing called Lyft Line. It's like Uber Pool, where you got to pick up all these separate parties, and they all get in the car and they have a fucking argument about who gets to drop off first. You know what I mean? I'm like, hey man, the app does that. It's not me. The app tells me where to go. That's it. I'm in charge. I follow the robot. So I picked up a woman the other day, and a young woman, very nice. She was from France, and she was really she was a young kid, and she was very personable and friendly and talked about how she likes Uber. And she asked if she could have the auxiliary cord to play her music. So I gave her the cord. She plugged it in. She's like, what do you want to listen to? I said, you know what? I kind of like anything. I'm happy to listen to whatever you want to. This is your ride. And she said, well, what about David Bowie? I said, that would be fantastic. So she starts playing some David Bowie. And we had to talk about David Bowie and how it was terrible that he was gone and how it's left a void. And she said, I'm very young. She said, and I'm French. So when I first heard the songs, I only liked the music. I didn't know, but now I know English. So now I know the lyrics and they have much more meaning to me. And so we talked about that a little bit. I asked her what she preferred, and it was a nice conversation. And then we got pinged and I had to go pick up some more people. So I go and it's someone named Scott. So I get there and Scott's not there, and it's a bar and it's fucking letting out. It's 3 a.m, so it's after hours. And these 3 girls come walking over to the car. And I look, if you're young, have a good time with yourself. Feel free to dress the way you like and be everybody's ideal. And I don't tell anybody how to live their life. However, these 3 fucking extras from BAPS come walking over to the car. And I mean, just like spring heels and just hoochie mamas, and they're heavy and they're falling out of their clothes. They're just young Latina girls having a good time. Good for them. Enjoy themselves. But they knock on the window and I go, I'm looking for Scott. She goes, "Where's Scott?" And it turned out their friend had ordered the Lyft. Now, I should tell you this, Lyft and Uber both say, if it is not the person who has ordered, you should not let them in your car. Well, I would lose half of my fucking fares because it's always some guy who just banged someone who wants me to take the girl home. You know what I mean? Or someone at a bar is like, I'll get you an Uber or whatever the fuck. So these 3 girls pile into my car. And it is just a perfume tornado in the back. And it's literally the smell of like fucking liquor and perfume and dead hopes. I mean, it's just spinning around.
I know that feeling.
It's that end of the night type of deal. And you can just see and sweat too, because they've been dancing and they got underarmed. I mean, they weren't classy. And I don't know from classy, except I know I've got French.
They were end of the night classy. Yeah,
okay.
I know exactly what you're saying. You're not being disparaging. You're being very descriptive.
Well, I'm just commenting on who they were and what they were about at that moment. I'm not saying anything about them in life. However, the choices they had made that evening for their makeup and their jewelry and their dresses and their general demeanors and
told
their
the story they wanted to tell.
Gum snapping, and they're just a mess. And they just struck me as the kind of girls who are going to work at Forever 21 until they're 30, and then they're going to get pregnant if they aren't pregnant already. You know what I mean? It was just, you could just see they didn't aspire to anything more than the good time they had that night. You know, and I was taking them also. They were going to Alhambra to an after hours party at a vape joint. I'm like, okay, you know what? Literally, I didn't even need to describe them. I just said I picked up 3 girls from a club and they were going to an after hour parties in Alhambra at a vape joint. And you go, I know who those chicks are. I've met them.
Yep, I've met them. I know them.
I mean, they were lucky Scott.
For them.
They were lucky Scott could contact me because the buses don't run that late. All right, do you know what we're talking about here?
Awful.
So they pile into the back of the fucking car, and they are just, I mean, I'm having a very interesting discussion about David Bowie and Europe versus America, and she's over here for school, and then she will go home to France, and she wants to open a design shop, and I'm having that conversation, and then America gets in the back seat, and I'm like, oh fuck. And they immediately, because she's playing the music, like Julie, the girl, is playing her own music. And the people in the back seat are they're like, hey, can you turn the music down? And I'm like, okay. And they're like, no, turn it up. No, turn it down. Oh my God, fucking turn it down already. Oh, turn it up, fuck. And they're making themselves laugh. And I realized then that they're basically fucking with me because I have to do what they say, kind of. And they go, do you have any gum? And I said, yeah, I think I do. They go, well, why don't you have it out? And they go, well, I don't. I said, I don't know. I have a pack of Dentyne, and I hand it back. I go, here you go. I go, I think there's enough in there for all of you. And they just start taking pieces out. And then she hands me the pack. I go, is it empty? She goes, no, there's some left. And I go, okay. She goes, well, where is it? Can I have a charger? And I said, what kind of phone? She goes, I have an Android. And I go, no, I have an iPhone charger. She goes, you should have an Android charger. You're supposed to have all of them.
You're supposed to?
That's what she said. And I said, I have the iPhone. I go, and she goes, well, the one girl goes, I can use that one. I go, great. I hand her the iPhone. And she goes, I go, so look, if you guys need the heat on, because I know it's cold outside, that's fine. If you want the music up or down, you want anything changed, please let me know. We're all in this together. And they laughed and they go, look at you trying to get those 5 fucking stars. And I go, I'm not trying anything. I'm just being a nice guy because that's who I am. And if I'm just telling you, if you got anything, I'm happy to do it. We're all, like I said, this is our ride. Let's all enjoy it. Yeah, well, you're trying to buck for them 5 fucking stars. You should put some mints out or some gum like everybody else does. I said, yeah, that's not what I'm doing. I did give you some gum, though. I mean, I hope I'll get a credit for that. And she goes, oh, of course. Yeah, haha, that's great. But you know what? Man, you get in some fucking cars. They got like candy bars and they got the chargers for everybody. She goes, you should fucking do that, man. That's what everybody does. I go, yeah, I don't. I go, I will drive you to where you're going and I'll be a nice person. And the funny thing is, as I'm talking to them, I'm driving and I'm following my phone. And the girl from France is in my passenger seat. And you can see her just looking at the floor, just shaking her head, just astonished at the level of discourse she's sitting through at this point. Because these women are basically saying, fuck you, man. Give me stuff. Give me stuff now. And So she's like, well, I'm going to change the station. She switched over to the Beatles. She's playing the Beatles, and so she starts talking about the Beatles a little bit. And she's been to Hamburg, where they, to the club, and so we talked a little bit. But in the back seat, these three girls are like, oh, I'm gonna fuck him. No, not if I don't. I'm gonna fuck him first. No, I tell you what, he's going to this after hours party. I hope it's busy, because if I'll tell you what, if he doesn't fuck me, I'm gonna find somebody to fuck me. And I'm having a conversation in the front seat about Germany and how her family has settled in the country, and and in the back seat they're divvying up who they're gonna fuck in an hour. I mean, and look, I was young. I get it. Do your thing. But it was just it's so interesting to me to have the front seat and the back seat, just this weird delineation between, in the front seat, just normal people, and in the back seat, just, hey, I'm going to get fucked at this vape lounge. I'm like, what the hell? So then she asks for more gum. I don't know if they chewed it all out in 15 minutes, but I went, fantastic. I handed her the pack, and I could hear them go, they took the last 5 pieces and popped them out and kept them. And I saw her put them in her purse. And I was like, all right. So I took the empty pack and I put it down. And luckily I was dropping off the French girl first. And so we pulled up, and she was like, it was really nice to meet you. Thank you for the discussion. And please be safe. And I said, you too. Nice. Take care. And I dropped her off. Closed the door. And the girl in the back seat goes, I thought that bitch would never leave. She hadn't done anything. She was sitting in the front seat. And I go, well, luckily the app had us drop her off first. And she goes, well, it's about fucking time. Can you turn the radio on, please? And I said, well, okay. And she goes, I go, what do you want? I go, I have satellite radio, whatever you want. She goes, anything besides the shit she was playing. Oh, the Beatles? Yeah, I could see where that would upset you in the back seat. As you listen to the greatest band ever assembled. And I just went, okay, well, I go, what do you want? She goes, I don't care. Seriously, just put it, make it loud. And as long as it's not that bullshit she was fucking making us listen to. And I said, okay. And so I literally put on the hip hop station and turned it up as loud as I could. And she's like, yeah. And they open the windows and their arms are out the fucking door. And then they're like, I can't wait to fuck that guy. And I pulled up to the vape lounge, and a guy came, and he's like, who this? And she goes, it's me, fool. You knew I was coming. These are my fucking friends. And he goes, oh, I didn't see you. I saw them. I just want to know who they are. And they opened the door, and he didn't help them out, shockingly. And they got out, and he just fucking he had a bag of liquor, like a brown paper bag. And I saw him, he literally shoved it in her chest. Boom. And she goes, oh, that's what I'm talking about. And she just fucking took a huge pull off of it. And then they slammed my door and walked off. And I was like, dude, I just drove the class struggle to Alhambra. That was fucking amazing. So I drove them. But then the next night, this happened to me. I think it was Sunday night. I'm driving, and I only had a few people, but because everybody's like, oh, it's going to be so busy because of the MLK holiday. And will there be gunmen trying to get away? Is that what you're trying to say? I don't know. So I go out, and I figured there would be people out partying, doing whatever. So I got a call, a couple of dudes at the Abbey, which is it's kind of a half and half bar. It's right in the middle of West Hollywood, so it gets gay clientele and regular clientele. And I pull up, and it's a zoo. It is a fucking zoo. So when you pull up, there's like 8 Ubers and Lyfts and cabs. There's all sorts of fucking people. So you got to fight for your people. I've had people just get in my car, and I've had to go, hey, are you Larry? And they're like, no, man, I'm Juan. I'm like, Juan, I'm here for Larry. And they got to get out of your car. And they're like, and always, because they're drunk, they'll go, well, just take me, man. It's not a problem. I'm like, it's not that. It's not how it works. I go, the phone is one thing. And I go, and you know what, Juan, you shouldn't get into a car with somebody you don't know. I'm just telling you.
Yep.
I can fucking handle myself. I'm sure you can, Juan. Go handle yourself in somebody else's car. I'm going to watch Larry handle himself. So I pull up, and I'm out front of the Abbey. I get a great spot this time out front of the Abbey because it's not super busy. It's crazy busy, but not super busy. So I pull up right outside of Hamburger Heaven, and I'm outside the Abbey, and I'm literally at the doors of the Abbey. And the guy calls me, and he's like, where are you? And I go, I'm right outside of the Abbey. He goes, where? I go, dude, literally right outside. Like when you walk out of the Abbey, I'm the car you will see. I'm directly in front of it. Are you by the taxi cabs? Dude, I'm in a blue Chrysler directly outside of the Abbey. If you walked out of the Abbey and kept walking straight, you would walk into my back seat. What side of the street are you on? Oh my God. Dude. I'm directly in front of the Abbey, right by Hamburger Heaven. You cannot miss me. I'm in a blue car. I go, I'm flashing my brights. My flashers are on. I don't see you. Then that's your problem. I'm right here, blue car. But where? I see the cabs, but you say you're in front of the Abbey. Like, I go, dude, directly in front of the front door. Well, I go, you know what? Fuck this. Hold on. And I get out of my car and I go, hey! Did you hear me? Yeah, I heard you. Great. I'm in front of the Abbey. Where are you? Dude. Hold on, dude. And I see them. They come walking up from like, they're about 40 feet away. He goes, oh, we were looking on the other side of the street. I'm right in front of the Abbey. I told you where I was. Yeah, but we were looking by the cabs. Oh my God, get in the car. The two of them get in the car. Drunk. Not throw up drunk, luckily. Because I will tell you this. I'll divert. I got a ping for Lyft at the shortstop, the bar down in fucking Silver Lake or whatever. And I pull up and I pull in front of the shortstop and the guy's not there. And I call him and I go, where are you? And he goes, I'm in the parking lot of the gas station. I go, right next door here because I'm directly in front of the shortstop. He goes, yeah, I'm in the gas station. I go, I guess I'll come get you. And I'm happy I did because when I pulled up, he's vomiting into a trash can in front of the gas station. His other friend is sitting on the ground with his hands on his knees, just like looking down at the fucking cement. And he looks up and he goes, 1 second. And I go, nope, not happening. And he goes, oh man, come on, just 1 second. I go, dude, no, finish your vomiting. Take care. And I just fucking deleted the ride. And I went to drive away and he pinged me again. And I ignored it. Well, with Lyft, you don't get to explain why you've canceled a ride. I canceled that dude and said, if you cancel this, it will go on your record as a turn down and it'll affect your star rating. And I'm like, I don't care. I denied him and then I didn't answer him. So then I said, if you don't answer a call, it also affects you. So I pulled right over and I immediately wrote them and I go, look, I just denied and canceled a ride from the same guy who was vomiting in a parking lot. I go, I don't think that should affect my star rating. Here's Lyft's customer service. I've literally not received a response from that at all. This is 3 days ago. 3 days ago, I've not received a response till to this morning. I got one that said, we'd like some feedback. How do you think we handled this situation? Guess what? I got news for you. As soon as you handle it, I'll answer your fucking questions. Motherfucker. What a mess. What a fucking mess. What have I done with my life? Where is it gone? Seriously. God damn it. So these two dudes get in my car at the Abbey and one dude's like, hold on, I got to call my husband. So he calls his husband and he's like, hey, oh, did I wake you up? I'm real sorry. He goes, I think we're still going back out. We're going to the Mayan. Okay. I just want to make sure it's okay with you. All right. I love you. And he hangs up and the one guy's like, why do you got to call him all the time? And he's like, well, he's my husband. I have to call him. He goes, yeah, but I thought you had that open thing going. He goes, yeah, but you know, it's fine. I'm totally fine with it, but I still got to tell him, you know. He goes, yeah. He goes, how's that going? He's like, I don't know. He goes, I like it. You know, I like doing stuff and everything I do, but I don't like him doing stuff. He's like, what do you mean? He goes, well, we sat down and we made this arrangement and I told him that's what I wanted. And he said, okay. And, I tell him when I meet a guy and I tell him the stuff that we do and everything. But then I told him, I don't want to hear anything from you about what you've done. Cause I'm just jealous. I don't want to know what he's doing with other guys. The guy goes, well, that makes sense. And no, it doesn't make sense at all. Oh my God. That completely doesn't make sense. If you've decided you're both going to go for fucking strange cocks, then split up or deal with the fact that you're both going with strange cocks. Don't act like it's not happening on one end. I mean, I don't know fuck all about an open relationship. All I know is I couldn't tolerate one, so fuck it. If you're going to do it, don't pretend like you're doing it and then you hate it. And the other dude is like, yeah, man, I tell you, it's like, I don't know how you can do it. He's like, well, he goes, I like, I kind of like meeting these other guys and it's always more fun and exciting. And he goes, I'm, and if I don't meet anybody tonight, I'm going to fuck you tonight. And he's like, I don't think so. And he goes, well, tell me that in an hour. And then and they're laughing. And then they're talking about how cute these boys are and all this different stuff. And I'm whatever, good for you. It's like, again, people forget I'm a person in the front seat and I can hear everything they're saying.
Not a person.
No, literally, I'm a fixture in a seat. That's it. And they're talking about sucking cock and they're talking about where they went and did these guys and all these different dudes. And they're going to the Mayan and he knows the perfect place to go with a guy behind here and then do things and nobody knows. And you can fit 4 guys in there. And I'm like, all right, well, good for all of you guys. And I'm just driving. And as I'm driving down La Cienega and I'm trying to get downtown and cut across, I wish I could set this up in a way where it's like there's tension. But there was no tension. This just fucking happened. I'm driving. These two dudes are in the back talking about open marriages and sucking 4 cocks at the Mayan. And out of fucking nowhere, I'm not kidding, nowhere, my hood flies open and smashes into the windshield of my car.
What?
I'm not kidding. I'm just driving, and then it just happened. It just like boom, and it's pinned against the windshield. So I can't see 3/4 out. I have to shrink down and look out the groove by the windshield wipers. I'm going 40 miles an hour. I was going to the 10. So luckily I'm not on the freeway yet, but I'm driving on La Cienega doing 40 miles an hour. The hood comes up and goes wham, wham, and smashes into the windshield. And these two guys scream. Ah!
I would have too.
And you know who didn't? Fucking me, goddammit, because I'm the man. Literally, I just rolled with it like, oh, well, this is happening now. I crouched down and I looked and I negotiated. There was a guy in front of me and a guy alongside of me, and I'm driving, and they stop immediately, and I pull over to kind of because I'm 2 lanes over. I can't get to the side of the road, and I go through a stoplight. I come around and I slow down and I pull over to the side of the road. Hood covering my windshield, completely up, not on an angle, flat against my windshield. And I pull over and I stop. And these two guys are like, what is that? What happened? What? I go, that's the hood of my car. He goes, the hood of your car is on your windshield. And I go, yes, it is. That just happened to all of us. And my first instinct was to grab my phone and take photos from inside the car so you could see the view that I had, and to get out and take photos. But they were just like, oh my God, what are we doing? Are we getting out here? And I go, no, it's fine. I go, I'll get you. Let me see first. So I get out of the car, and the fucking, it's just like an open mouth. The fucking hood is completely flat against my windshield, and you can see the engine and everything. It's open. Everything's wide open. And again, my instinct was to go grab my phone and take photos, but then these guys are like, do you need us to find another ride? Do you need me to call anybody? And I kind of just was like, no, I got it. Because I was torn between documenting what was happening and just trying to appear cool in the moment. Because I was fucking cool in the moment. I was Lecter. Like, I mean, my pulse didn't go above 80 when I ate both their tongues. Like, I mean, I was just a fucking man. It happened in the point, and it was almost like where I went, oh yeah, that's cool. My hood just smashed into my windshield. I'll have to get over here in a couple of lights. I mean, I don't know why it didn't affect me. I didn't scream or go swerve. I've been in so much shit. I guess it didn't bother me. And so I looked at it, and I looked to see if my windshield was cracked. And then I just took the hood and I pulled it because I thought it was bent. I'm like, because hoods don't go that far up. I was like, well, this is going to be completely fucking bent. How am I going to fix this? So I took it, and when I slid it down, it creaked and creaked, and I had to bend it a little, and then boom, it just closed. It has grooves along the top where it's smashed into the windshield wipers, and there's trim, like the rubber trim is all sticking out the side. But it just closed. So I walked out to the front, because again, like I said, I was torn between documenting it and also trying to appear like I knew what was up and don't worry, fellas, like to assuage them. So I grabbed it and I shook the car, and it was fine. It was locked. So I got back in the car and they go, well, what happened? And I go, I have no idea. You guys still want to go to the Mayan? And they go, is it safe? And I go, I have no idea. I assume we'll find out when we get on the freeway. And they went, okay. And I said, that was fucking bananas, right? And they go, oh yeah, it was. And I go, no, that was fucking crazy. I go, that happened. And then I was fucking, I was cool as hell. Like, did you see that? Like, I didn't freak out. I pulled right over. I got it. I fixed it. I squared it away. I go, haha, dudes, that doesn't happen. How many times has a hood smashed into a windshield and everybody's fine? That was great. And they go, can we go to the Mayan now? They totally weren't on board with my fucking heroic actions. So I was like, all right. I go, let's hope we make it. And I drove down and I got on the 10, which is that, because then I'm doing 70 and nothing. I would tell you, it was misting and raining and pissing rain all night. So I fucking tried to use the windshield thing. It was destroyed. It wasn't working.
Your windshield wipers aren't working?
Well, the windshield wipers are working. The squirty wasn't.
Okay.
So, I'm driving and everything seems to be fine, and I get to the Mayan and I drop them off, and I drive all night. I drive till like 5 a.m. I did stop. I had to stop at a Fat Burger because they were open, and it was like that was at 1 or 2. 1. Oh no, this was Sunday night. I didn't drive till 5 in the morning. I drove it. I was going to head home at 1 because there was nothing else going on. I'm like, I'll get a hamburger, and I had to be up early to see Shannon on Monday. So I went to Fatburger, and they were fucking closed. But I had to open my hood, and I get in there, and I looked. Everything was fine. And in my head, I didn't want to open my hood because I went, what if that's when it doesn't close again? You know what I mean? What if I from some fluke I closed it? I should just keep it closed fucking forever. But I had to open it up because I wanted to see what was going on with the windshield things, and it turns out the tubes had been torn apart, disconnected.
Right.
So I just grabbed them, and I mean, I'm in the engine. I'm fucking wrist deep in the engine, and I'm reconnecting shit, and I fixed it. I totally fixed my windshield thing. So I pulled the thing, and it started squirting and made the cleaner come out and everything. I totally reconnected it. My hands were filthy, and I'm like, yeah, I'm a goddamn man. I didn't fucking panic. I didn't freak out. Those two guys screamed like girls. I kept them safe. They're off to Mayan now, getting a belly full of fucking sperm, and I'm fucking excited at Fatburger. Good for those two. I hope their marriage works out. So I walk into Fatburger. He's like, we're closed. I go, I just got to wash my hands, dude. I'm out there working on a car. I'm all tough. So I go and I wash my hands. I walk out. And I missed burger time. So I fucking went to, you know what I bought? I bought mac and cheese. That's what I said. Remember I said I was eating mac and cheese 2:30 in the morning. So Jill texted me, and I texted her, and I'm like, I'll put this picture up just because to me it's funny. When I got the job at Lyft, you have to meet a mentor. He has to come out and he looks at your car. He makes sure you're fine. He takes your photo, and then they put up your profile. It's all nonsense. The guy I met was super great. I mean, he was really fun. He had great advice. He told me really nice stuff. And I should tell you, Lyft put me through like 4 different mentors before this guy finally saw me. Because 2 of them were like, hey man, you got to come to my house and do this. And I was like, why am I coming to your house? They told me you would come to my house. He's like, hey, here's my address. I'll see you tomorrow. And I'm like, no, you were supposed to come to my house. So then when I meet the guy who is my mentor, he goes, what happened? I go, I don't know. They had me 4 different mentors. They tried to get me to go to their house. And he goes, and he gives me the address. He's like, 3700 Schmidt Lane. And I'm like, yes. He goes, yeah, that guy's a dick. He goes, because we are paid to come to you as a trip, and we look at everybody's cars and we approve you. He goes, he tells everybody to come to his place, and he approves them. He acts like a mentor, but they come to him. He doesn't go out. So he'll have like 12 people come to his house, and he gets paid for it while he sits in his house. He goes, we're supposed to go to you and inspect your car where you are. And I said, well, that sucks. He goes, yeah. He goes, there's 2 people who do it. And we know it. Everybody knows it. So it's just a matter of time till they fucking make them stop. But he was a cool guy. Took my picture. So my first day I go to Lyft. I sign in, and I take my first ride, and I drop them off, and I go in to see just what the workings of the app. And I slide it over, and there's my profile, and it says Mike, and it has my star rating, and there's my photo, and it's upside down.
That's awesome.
Like my head is completely upside down. And I just fucking went, you motherfuckers are amateur night. What the fuck? So I wrote their customer service, and I go, hey, I'm upside down, I think, in the app. Can you help me with this? And then I pick up my next rider. Because, again, I think it's just me. Yeah. Pick up my next rider. Her name was Ilsa, and I drive her, and I go to drop her off, and I go, hey, can I ask you a question? I go, can you see me in the app? She goes, you're upside down. I go, I thought I was. She goes, yeah. She goes, honestly, Lyft. I take Lyft and Uber, and Lyft kind of wants you to be like personality people. So I thought maybe you did it as a choice. And I'm like, no, I clearly did not. No. I'm sorry. I try to keep my whimsy at home. And she laughed, and I go, okay, well, thank you. And then, and they wrote me, and they go, yeah, just refresh your app. I'm sure it'll work. Nope. I'm still upside down in my app. But a listener to the show named Justin ordered me on Lyft. And he goes, no, man, you're right side up. And I go, not in mine. I showed him on mine. I go, no, I'm not. And he's like, oh, man. I go, yeah, this is a fucking joke. So
honestly, I think it's fitting that you're upside.
No fucking kidding. Why not? It's like an upside down flag where you're looking for, oh, please help me, save me, that thing. Yeah. So I'm in distress. So I drop them off. I get my mac and cheese. I come home and I cook it. I sit down and I text Jill. She's at work. And when I had told her about the upside down, I sent her the picture of the upside down me. And she just wrote, only you, honey. Because it's become this thing. Like I said, she's been absorbed into my crazy world. So she sees the things that happen. So I said, hey, I had an only you story tonight. And she's like, oh my God, honey, are you okay? I said, I'm okay. Don't worry. I go, everything's fine. I go, can you talk? I go, I know you're at work, but I mean, it's better told than it is typed. It's a lot of typing. And she's like, oh yeah, hang on. So she calls me like 5 minutes later and she's like, are you okay? And I go, honey, I'm good. I go, but you're not going to, this story is ridiculous. And cause again, this was her car. So I tell her, I go, listen, I pick up these guys and we're going here and I'm driving, I'm going 40 miles an hour. And I said, honey, I don't know how to explain it. The hood flew open on the car and smashed into the windshield. And she slits her eyes, like, looks at me and she's like, what? And I go, it was unbelievable. I go, I was driving, the hood came up while I'm doing 40 miles an hour. It slams into the windshield. And I had to go like another light, a block and a half, 2 blocks, and finally pulled over. And then I put the hood down. It was ridiculous. She goes, really? And I go, yeah. She goes, oh, well, that's weird. I go, it is weird. You don't believe me, do you? And she goes, well, I don't know. I had that car and that never happened to me. And I go, yeah, I know. It's never happened to me in any of the cars I've ever owned. It's ridiculous. I said, and it's so funny. My first instinct was to take photos, but there were people in the car and I wanted to make sure that I didn't look like I was grandstanding. And I go, so I didn't take any pictures. She's like, well, that's weird, honey. I go, it is weird, right? And she goes, yeah, that's just kind of strange. I mean, it smashed into your windshield. And I go, yeah. And she goes, and you were just able to close it. I go, I know. I was shocked. Yeah, that's definitely weird. You really don't believe me, do you? She goes, honey, I believe you. I go, you don't. I can actually see it in your face. Like you gave me a side eye and you're kind of shaking your head like, oh, that Mike. I said, why the fuck would I make something like that up? And she goes, I don't know. I didn't say you did. You're the one saying you did. I go, no, I'm not saying I did. I'm saying I can clearly see you do not believe me that I'm telling you this. And she goes, honey, I believe you. She goes, you're the one who's getting worked up. And I go, because the fucking hood of the car almost flew into my face. And she goes, well, and I go, don't worry, I'm okay. And she goes, what do you mean? And I go, I'm fine. And she goes, oh, are you okay? And I go, yes, I'm okay, honey. I promise. And she goes, honey, you got to calm down. And I go, you don't believe me. I go, and you didn't even ask if I was okay. Like, I mean, dude, the hood of the car came up at 40 miles an hour. And she goes, well, clearly you're okay. We're talking about it. I go, I know, but you didn't not once. You didn't think, oh my God. Like literally you never even went, oh my God, that's ridiculous. Are you all right? You just went, that's pretty weird. It is fucking weird. And she goes, honey, I believe you. And I go, all right, I guess you do. And then we wound up talking the next day, and I said, yeah, I go, I'm going to go down there. And she goes, well, see if they can maybe look at your ghost hood and figure out why that flew open while you were driving. I said, you don't fucking believe me. And she goes, I believe you, honey. She goes, don't make it a thing, but I believe you. And I go, you really don't. She goes, come on. She goes, I do believe you. I think photos would have gone a long way toward proving your story.
Oh my God.
And I went, you really? And she goes, honey, I'm teasing. I'm totally teasing. And I go, you're not teasing. You really don't fucking believe me. And she goes, no, but if you had photos, it would be a lot. I go, oh my God. She goes, honey, and she's crying, laughing because she knows me. She knows I'm fucking bananas. So she's like, she's just fucking, she's poking the bear is all she's fucking doing. But it doesn't matter because I'm mad that I didn't take fucking photos. That drives me crazy. But then the very fact that she, of all people, wouldn't believe the fucking story. I mean, dude, really? And because again, she gave me this weird side eye, but again, she's doing it on purpose to fucking goad me. And then the next day, like I said, she's like, well, photos would have gone a long way toward proving your fucking, yeah, photos would go a long way to proving anything. I wonder if they'll take any photos when I strangle you to death for not believing my fucking story. I should have taken fucking pictures. I should have taken pictures.
Yes, you should have.
I just didn't think that the most important person in my life was going to go, yeah, you're an idiot. I mean, I'm an idiot. I get that I'm an idiot. And I know she's teasing, but at the same time, it's just that frustrating thing where you're like, no, I swear, because again, it's such a fucking bizarre occurrence that I should have taken pictures. Yes, I should have taken pictures. I get it. But fuck, buy me, eat me, believe me, something, love me, do anything, validate me in some way. And she's just laughing. And I knew what she was doing, but it didn't matter. And so I'm just like, all right, okay. I said, I know you don't believe me. She goes, no, I do believe you. I do, honey. She goes, I'm very proud of you. And I go, you don't fucking patronize me, man. I don't need that shit. Don't condescend to me, man. Fucking kill you. And she's like, no, honey, I'm very proud of you. I'm like, God damn it, stop. She goes, well, just, I own that car. It never happened. I go, no, it didn't happen. And then she goes, the Babadook is real. I go, yes, the Babadook is real. That's the best thing you've said all day. I said, I went into a fat burger. I had to wash my hands. I go in there. She goes, I'm very proud of you, honey. I go, you don't have to be proud. She goes, but yeah, you're telling the story. She's like, oh yeah, the trim is hanging out the side and your windshield wipers don't work. And she's like, I've heard of it. I've heard every detail. I'm very proud of you, honey. I go, stop. I go, but I did. I got in there and my hands were totally dirty and I totally fixed it. I was so happy. She goes, you want me to be honest? And I said, yeah. She goes, you fixing the windshield wiper thing is the least believable thing about this entire story. And she just starts cracking up. And I sat there and I wanted to be pissed. And in my head, I just went, you know what? I got to fucking agree with you. You guys can get me at Mike at MikeSchmidtComedy.com. You guys can be my friends at Facebook.com/the40-year-old-boy. You can follow me at Twitter.com/the40-year-old-boy. You can be my friend on Peach at 40YOB like 6 of you have. Thank you. Find me at all those neat places. You remember our friend David Hernandez? Sure you do. He has a website. Well, first of all, find him at Facebook.com/DavidMaxHernandez. He is the genius behind all the music and the artwork for this show. You can find him at artbydmh.com. That's ARTBYDMH.com. Like I said, Facebook.com/DavidMaxHernandez. That's the place to go be his friend. But if you want to be a professional acquaintance, you go to artbydmh.com. Or you can go to both. Be his friend who gives him money to do cool stuff for you. Why not? That's what I do. I don't give him any money. I used to give him some a million years ago before my life fell apart. But go ahead and get David on board for doing all cool things, and he will go ahead and do any commissioned artwork for you that you wish to order. Thank you. Thank you. That's artbydmh.com. ARTBY. DMH.com. Ryan Dirks does all the web stuff for our site. Go to Facebook.com/Ryan Dirks. And, of course, our producer is the very lovely and talented Lily Von Stupp. You can find her at several different Twitter accounts. First of all, go to Facebook.com/Lily Von Stupp and just gaze in awe at her page and know that you will never be her friend. You can try. You can queue up and try to put yourself in there. But, did you hear that slamming door? There's Lou leaving again.
That's me with my attitude on Facebook.
That was it. That was Lily's page right there. You go and look for friendship,
You
smash.
can follow me, though.
Why not? Why wouldn't you follow her and find out about her exploits and her antics? She's got all of those and both.
And my fascination with Tiny Tim.
You should tiptoe through the social media and close all of your accounts.
I might.
And then go get married on the Mike Douglas show to somebody you don't love.
He did love her.
No,
Don't you say that?
He did not.
He did.
Literally the first publicity stunt of all times that you can recall, and you're going to say that it was real.
It was not, the first publicity stunt of all times.
That's got to be Jesus coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah, The Rock and the whole 3 days and the
Yeah.
bullshit in the cave. Yeah, right. Way to go, buddy. I got him in the papers. We're still talking about him. Look at how that fucking worked.
You got him in the rocks, not the papers.
No.
They didn't have papers
Wasn't the
back then.
Flintstones?
They
No,
were
bullshit.
writing things on stones and
No, they didn't. And
got
that,
him in the tablets. The
no,
stone tablets.
that's what Jesus did when he came out of the cave. He brought the papyrus. He totally invented it when he was in there. That's the whole deal. Why do you think Jesus disappeared for 3 days? So he could invent papers they could write his fucking legend. That was it. He's like, fuck it, I'm totally crucified and dead. And then he goes in the cave and he whips up the printing press. And then there you go. They make the Bible. I think that's how it worked.
In stone, too.
He's like, I'm totally going to get crucified. So then when I come out, I'll have you guys write my story. Write my story. Go tell it.
Say my name, say my name.
Ain't calling me baby. All right, so.
Yo.
So, if you want to go find Lily, go to her page and check her out. She's there at Facebook.com/Lily Von Stupp. But you can follow her at several different Twitter accounts. Twitter. Twitter.com/MNTs, Twitter.com/HollywoodBQFest, Twitter.com/Lily Von Stupp, Twitter.com/Boobdini.
Boobdini.
And then you can find her at Peach with all of those. Just go to Peach, and I don't know how you find people, but just go look for Lily and look for those names, and I'm
Look
sure
for all of us.
you'll find them because she's got all of them. But if you'd like to write her a personal note and find out just who she's texting right now as the most important part of the show is happening, you can go ahead and write her at Lily at burlesque411.com. That's Lily, LILILOVEYOUXOXO. That's what she was texting. She just showed it to me. Lili at burlesque411.com. Want to remind you folks about the Monday Night Teas every Monday night at the 3 Clubs on Vine at Santa Monica.
And the new early show.
There, what? I don't know what you're
Early
talking. I
show.
don't know what you're saying. I've never heard of such a thing. We'll talk about that. Let's talk about the teas first. It's an amazing show. You should go get it. It's, again, the best burlesque show in the history of Los Angeles. Dark this past week. because there were incidents and events out of Lily's control.
Yeah.
But the show returns next week. By the way, I happen to know the producer of that show. I think my throat just made a noise. I apologize, folks, if my throat just made a noise because I'm right there in your head.
It
and you may have
wasn't your
heard
throat.
something.
It was Amy Schumer's vagina.
Oh, it's the head of your dad. All right, so.
And again, I'm not picking on her or a feminist or anything.
Well, neither was I, and I'm not saying she stole bits or she's a hack or whatever. But like again, like I said though, when it first hit, I literally was like grabbing the popcorn, going, "All right, here's where all the comics go after her."
I look forward to people telling me I'm anti-feminist because I went whatever, stupid fucking.
Nobody's gonna tell you anything because nobody listens to this fucking show.
That is
Literally,
not true.
nobody.
That is not true. I remember when you hosted the other night and you mentioned the 40-year-old boy and people were like, "Ding dong" in the audience.
Yes.
I heard it.
Well, look, there's me listening occasionally. There's you. There's Dave. I think still listens only to make sure if he's been mentioned or what he has to do next week for music. We got Blind George on board. I have never answered an email from Blind George. He writes me every week. He might write me twice a week, and I literally don't answer. I feel so badly about it.
Screen readers. He can get it if you write him.
Well, he actually wrote last week to vote on the headshots, and it made me laugh my ass off. And he's just like, you want me to vote on? He's blind. You know what? But here's how good Blind George is. He liked them all. He could have gone the other way. I didn't care for any of them, but he could have. But he actually liked them all, which is good for him.
Blind George.
We got Blind George. We got Liana. We got. It's so funny. I'll think of names of people from the past who are like Facebook does this thing. They're like on this day last year, and I'll look at something I posted. It's a joke, and I'll see someone who commented. I'm like, hey man, I used to interact with that person all the time. I'll click on them. We're not even friends on Facebook anymore. And I'll be like, oh dude, that person not only hated the show, they bailed on me completely as a person. Because we're all friends here, right? We're all pals. I'm your internet chum. But for some of you, you've cut me loose. So
That's the name of the show.
What?
Internet Chum.
I think we actually had a show called Internet Chum at one point. You only want to make it that because you forgot to write down titles the entire time we were going doing this.
No, the new show, Internet Chum.
Oh, there's no new show. Well, we'll talk about that in a second. All right, so the Monday Night Tease is, of course, our friend Lily Von Strup's show. It's available in stores. I don't know.
It's available. It is available in stores now. There's now a Monday Night Tease at home kit.
Well.
Yes, it's the Monday Night Tease home edition. It's the instant stripper kit. It's on Etsy. Just do a search for Lily Von Strup.
It's a G-string, a fleshlight, and a clothespin. That's it.
No, it is a feather boa, a pair of gloves, some pasties, and a G-string.
All right.
Very close.
I was so close. You really should throw some clothespins and maybe a fleshlight in there.
I don't think so.
I think you should.
I think that would increase the cost by quite a bit.
Well, not the clothespins. Come on, throw 2 clothespins in the kit for me.
No.
Come on!
No.
As a nod to you and your proclivities.
How do you know that I don't like clothespins?
I don't know. I'm just kidding. I have no idea. Who knows who likes clothespins?
I don't like clothespins. What are you talking about?
I don't know. So that's our friend Lily Von Strup. She's the producer of that show. She loves it. It was dark this week, as I mentioned, but it is light again next week. Who's there next week, Lily?
Don't know. I don't have it in front of me, but it's going to be a great show. Buy a ticket. Come out. Support live theater.
Go to brownpapertickets.com and go ahead and pick up show tickets for Monday Night Tease. Go ahead and put her name in there or put in Monday Night Tease. Search it, find it, buy it. You can also go to the Facebook.com.
Now too.
You're on Eventbrite?
I added some other ticket sales outlets to see if I can reach people that maybe don't go to Brown Paper Tickets, just to see for a couple.
So there's Eventbrite, and what else?
I don't remember. There's like 3 of them.
You should probably remember those because that would help people buy tickets.
I just signed up for them and I just got the stuff listed, so I can't remember right now what I signed up for and what I didn't.
Are tickets available at ComeSeeMyNipples.com?
No, because
Okay.
you can't come see my nipples.
All depends
Unless you
I
performed
would
the
say,
show or came to the party.
yeah.
I'm going to be selling those, by the way.
Are you?
because
Should.
I have to.
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, if you want my tits, just write me. It's $20. No, it's $10. $10. $10 including shipping.
10 each.
Nah, $10 including shipping. I think I can mail that
I get
out.
nothing
Yeah,
for 10 each. Do whatever you
What
got
do
to
you think's
do.
a good price for that?
For that little scopy dope?
Yeah.
But first of all, call it a scopy dope. By all means, make that a scopy dope. The Lily Von Strup scopy dope. God, I like that. I mean,
That's the name of the
10 plus shipping? Scopy dope? Let's go. I don't care.
It should be 15 including shipping then. But that sounds expensive, $15.
Well, yeah, you're sending a nude photo of yourself.
It's
Don't
not
sell yourself
topless,
short.
It's not nude. So I think $20 flat rate.
All right, man. If you guys want a picture of a topless Lily,
$20.
it's $20.
Send it to me via PayPal. I'll ask for your address.
This whole thing got shady quick. All of a sudden now it's like, hey, meet me behind the bar at the Mayan. It'll be 4 dudes in line, and then I'll go ahead and give you this fucking Scopy Dope.
Anyway, Scopy Dope is the name of the new show.
I like it. Oh,
Yeah,
no, it's
that's
not.
awesome. Scopy Dope.
Stop with your nonsense. All right, so maybe, but we'll call this show, let's call this show Scopy Dope.
All right. I don't know how to spell it.
I'll figure it out later. Just jot it down so we.
Scopy.
No, Scopy with a Y.
I like Scopy.
That's like a dude's name. Hello, I'm Scope E Dope. No, Scopy Dope.
Scopy Dope.
That's 2 words. That can't be 1 word.
That's 1 word. Scopy Dope.
Do you know how badly people are throwing their iPods into the ocean right now? They just want
They're too busy trying to find my PayPal address.
Good point. So tickets are on sale now. If you go to facebook.com/Monday Night Teas, you'll hear about all of the upcoming acts, see when they're going to be there. Go ahead and plan your show and check it out and have fun and have a good time. And buy tickets for upcoming shows. That'll be great. There's a Valentine's show coming up. I'm sure that'll be amazing. And there's all sorts of cool stuff. There's dudes and there's broads and there's vaginas and there's cocks and it's all on your face. So come out for some 3D stuff that just smells like a back room of a sex shop. So come on out. Hold on. I don't know if I'm plugging this properly. I'm sorry. It smells as bright and clean as a virgin's bedroom. How about that? So come on out to the show.
No.
That also doesn't work?
No, I like to call it...
Virgin's Bedroom. There you go. That's the name for the new show.
I like to... It's a classy, seedy place.
All right. It's seedy and classy. Yeah, not CD.
Upscale seedy. Oh, upscale seedy.
Upscale seedy. That's not so bad. All right. So go to the upscale seedy Monday Night Teas and buy tickets and have fun.
Yes.
And there's no new show. All right.
There is a new show. Do you want to talk about it yet?
Well, because there's nothing,
Well,
there's
we
nobody
already booked
booked.
the date.
All right. February 22nd, right?
Yes.
I think that's what we said.
3rd February.
It's the 3rd Monday in February. I have been talked into putting on a comedy show at the 3 clubs.
I think we're going to call it the Mike Schmidt Happier Hour.
Never happening. We're not calling it that. My name's not involved. We're not branding
it.
it.
40-year-old boy, Scopy Dope.
No, it's just a show. We'll call it. It's just a show.
It has to be branded to 40-year-old boy.
Why?
Because what is the point of having a brand if you can't brand on it?
So Lily is looking for things to put into the Monday Night Teas, and we were talking. She's like, would you do a comedy show? And as you know, that was an hour-long conversation of me saying no over and over and over until I finally wore down and said yes. So I can't decide. I don't know what the fuck it is yet. Okay, all I know is...
I'm going to call it the Lily Von Stupp Comedy Hour with Mike Schmidt.
I don't care. It's your show. Go ahead.
Done.
If that's how you want to do it. No, don't call it that.
And then Scopy Dope it is.
Well, if you want to call it that, you go ahead and book it. So that'll be fine. But if I'm getting because that's the thing is I'm going to try to have other comedians on it, and we'll, I don't know if it's stories, I don't know if it's comedy, I don't know what the fuck it is yet. We shouldn't be fucking talking about this, quite frankly.
I think we should call it Punchline.
No, we shouldn't call it anything like that. You should hear the name.
She's. Comedy Store.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Even to get the improv.
Let's call it the Laugh Fractory, and it will only be stories about fracking. That's all we have to we just have to tell stories about shale. Bring out all my shale jokes. All right, so that's happening. I don't know where tickets are, if that's what's going on, but February, as soon as I can figure out a name and book some people, and then I can't believe I fucking dove into this.
Calling it like the 40-year-old.
We'll call it something like that. No, not the 40-year-old boy hour, because that makes it sound like it's just me talking. I mean, that's just dumb.
40-year-old boy and friends.
Again, I will try to book real comedians.
40-year-old boy kindergarten hour.
Yeah, no, stop playing on the young. See, you have to go from this weird marketing angle, and I can't.
Yeah, because there's something terrible about wanting to get people to come to the show. Marketing is awful.
Well, I'm going to book 4 good comedians, and I'm going to talk at some point. So that's the way it will work.
That's
you know what I mean?
4 good comedians and Mike talking.
Yep, that's long for a flyer. Doesn't matter. It's happening. So I've been told February 22nd. I got talked into it just before we started fucking recording, and I guess I said yes. So I'll tell a story.
Mark your calendar, 7 p.m. Be at 3 Clubs.
Other people will tell a story. It'll be 7 p.m. on February 22nd. It's a Monday. And because she's like, well, you wanted to perform in Los Angeles. You wanted to get back on stage. And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, and this isn't.
So here's a show.
Yeah, that's the thing. This isn't just like a show where I go in and I do a show. I have to book it. I'm going to find comics and I'm going to do whatever. So
you can do it with just you and 2 other comics. You don't have to.
Of course.
In there.
Yeah. I had my 10-5 idea, which wasn't bad, actually.
10-5 is good.
Whatever. Who cares?
People
All right. So.
think it's better than 10-4.
Or actually one less than 10-6. So. That's happening February 22nd. It's a Monday. and I'll be doing that show, and then quietly disappearing into the night after I bomb. But come on out if you're in Los Angeles, buy a ticket. It'll be me and unnamed comedians. I'll try to find some good, funny people so you can come out and have a good time, and then I'll tell a story of some sort. Yes.
See if Amy Schumer's available.
Maybe Patrice O'Neill will be available. We can get him out there.
Just you and 4 dead comics. I think that's great.
Again, man, I'm not against her. Good for her.
I'm just being silly.
I know, but we were talking about it earlier, and I got cut off because it's like I thought for sure that comedians were going to savage her over doing that, and it just shows me that when you attain a certain level of power, you will not get. They will not go after you. And look, I'm not saying she's I don't know anything about her. I've never met her. I don't know. Everything I've heard about her is good. I mean, I've heard nice things, but at the time it made me go, all right, well, this is going to happen. And then it didn't. And she was just like, she walked away scot-free. Where, I mean, I remember, like I said, in the old days, if you did fucking somebody else's material, it got zapped. And either she didn't do somebody else's material, she closed her HBO special with pedestrian jokes. I mean, it's just these like, and were they funny? Yes, they're funny, but that's the reason they're fucking street jokes and been around fucking forever. Whatever, who cares? Nobody cares. Again, nobody cares. Literally, nobody cares about this. I'm talking into fucking space.
Mike Schmidt's street jokes.
No, fuck that, because then everybody because then it'll be street jokes. That's what everybody will expect is street jokes. I think Mike Schmidt and Nobody Cares would be a much better title.
Nobody laughs.
Yeah. Oh, that won't even be the title. That's just going to happen.
Everybody dies.
Everybody dies, sure. Remember that when I was touring behind that and I just had a CD and people used to care about me coming out and performing in their cities? Yeah, that was great. All right. So, folks, go to MikeSchmidtComedy.com and check out the Joe Business page. We got cool stuff there. We've got all sorts of things for sale. Why are you laughing at me now?
The Mike Schmidt Studio City Home Companion.
Oh, okay.
I'm just going to keep coming up with shitty names.
Yeah, they're all bad. So go to Joe Business page. And we've got all sorts of stuff for sale. We've got CDs, we've got downloads, we've got T-shirts. I did a T-shirt count. I've got, and I always throw this out there. Look, you guys are buying shirts, and that's fine. Some of you are not, but I've still got shirts. But I have, not only do I have your dirt shirts, but again, I have a couple of city shirts. I got some Atlanta shirts. I got a Denver shirt, a Minneapolis shirt. I still got a Red Boy. I got a Panda, a Panda shirt. Like what we called them something else. There was Panda Boy and Red Boy. We got those. Yeah, we got both of those. And we got, Scar Panda. We got that one, which is the Mike Schmidt Scarface one where he's off to the side. That guy, that character. All right. Who cares? Nobody cares. Write me if you want something. If you don't, that's fine. But if you go to Joe Business page, you can order stuff right on there. We're in the middle of revamping it and fixing it and changing it and having stuff available. Hey, if you if you subscribe to the show, that means every month you'd give in some cash. There's, that option is also on the page, and there might be something coming your way in the email in the next couple of days. Check it out. Maybe we'll see. If you're a donator who has supported the show, monthly donator, thank you so much. And there will be perhaps something showing up for you in the next couple of days.
Did you win Powerball?
No, I did not win the $10,000 a person. But that would be so great. But this is something so much. This is $10,000. This is worth $10,000. No, it's not. So look at your email, and there's something coming soon. And then, of course, there's our Amazon page. If you order stuff from Amazon, that would be great. Please, if you used our link, we would appreciate it because we get money. And by we, I mean me. And it keeps me alive, and it keeps me from having to go out and pander and be homeless. Although, what if I was homeless, I'd have much more adventurous stories to tell you about. Maybe Lily and I could talk about where I could go take a leak since there's no more restrooms available anywhere in the world. And what's funny is we got off of that sort of, but then we were kind of on it. But I completely agree with you that I don't understand the basic human right of being able to use a restroom and has been taken away. Earlier I said, because I've been privy to somebody ruining a public restroom, and it makes you go, I'm never letting anybody in this building it again.
They ruined a private restaurant's restroom.
No, I was a video store I was talking about. I was in a video store. Because, it happened at a Wendy's, too.
It was a restroom within the video store.
Yes.
Yes, that is not a private that is not a public restroom. That is a restaurant restroom. I'm talking about, remember when there used to be places where you could go to the bathroom and wash your hands and have a water fountain?
Well, sure.
Those do not exist.
Oh my God, don't say water fountain. Jill right now, literally just, if she listened to this far, she turned the thing off because whenever we see a fucking water fountain, she goes like, because again, I never even thought about it until now. Like, anybody could be drinking out of that fucking thing.
That's the point.
Yes, but that's terrible. It could be a priest or it could be Ted Bundy, and they're both equally terrible. That's the point. And I'm in line behind them, for fuck's sake. And then I'm going to drink water that Ted Bundy drank? I don't want to do that.
But you're not, because
No, it's a bubbler, man, and it's like nasty. And everybody walks up and they go ahead and take a sip out of it, and then someone licks it, and then you're like, oh my God, I totally drink that guy's spit the rest of the day. Ugh. Yeah, no, you can't leave any sort of refreshments available to the general public are not ones that I want to be involved in. I'm sorry. That's like if there was like you know what a water fountain is? Literally, it's like a sandwich on a rope, and everybody goes up and takes a bite out of it.
That is not even close.
That's totally what it is. A fucking water fountain is just a sandwich on a rope, and everybody's lined up to take a bite.
It's not.
And then when you line up, you're taking a bite out of somebody with herpes just took like part of the crust off, and now you got some herpes on you. Nobody wants ham and herpes. I don't want fucking ham and herpes.
From eating.
You totally get herpes from a sandwich. What are you trying? Don't tell me about this. I know about sandwiches and communicable diseases.
A sandwich that has an open sore, are you going to get herpes from a sandwich?
Yes, that's my
But
point.
it doesn't.
If I jam my dick into a hoagie, I could walk away with herpes. If I bite it when it's hanging on a rope in a goddamn park because they're like, oh, I'm totally parched after my workout, perhaps I'll go bite a ham sandwich on a rope. And then what happens? Sure enough, I wind up with herpes. I get ham herpes, and I don't want that. Jesus God. I mean, because again, look, I think community sandwich is a wonderful idea.
Community sandwich is the name of the show.
Community sandwich or ham herpes? I don't know. How come we have the name of the show at the end?
Community sandwich. That is the best.
And everybody comes up and takes a bite of it? Oh, see, that's an awful name. See, you know what? If you got a name suggestion, write us, please. I look forward to hearing from all of you. And by the way, thank you for voting on the headshots. That was really cool of you guys. Max always says people skip the closing music. I say people love your closing music, so let's prove it to them. If you've listened this far, write me at heymexilistened@gmail.com and we'll send you a 40-year-old boy hearing commemorative Facebook profile picture that you better fucking put up, you dick. Sorry about the dick thing. Thing. Did you get that?
Yeah, I got it. I don't want you to miss any of that brilliance.